These particular stories that I've chosen to tell are not my usual fare, by which I mean I did not invent them. They each came to me by diverse means, but they all have one thing in common. They were first told to me by someone else, whether in writing or by word of mouth, and they all, so I was told, are true. If they are true, they are singularly curious. Indeed, some of the most curious and intriguing stories I've ever heard. And I hope you will agree. The first I shall call the Squire's story. 9 years ago, in 1849, the little town of Barford, not far from us here in Cranford, Miss Pratt.
No, indeed.
The town of Barford was thrown into a state of great excitement by the intelligence that a mysterious gentleman by the name of Mr. Higgins...
A gentleman? Oh.
...had been looking at the White House, Mr. Clavering's former residence.
Oh, now, he was a gentleman. Dear old Mr. Clavering.
You must understand that the White House and its former owner held a special place in the hearts of the people of Barford. Not only was it the largest house in the town, and therefore one of which they were very proud, but it was a house where townspeople and country people had often met at Mr. Clavering's friendly dinners.
Though, if he had a fault, it was the love he had for those horses of his. Oh, you should see the improvements he made to the stables. They lived in high luxury, those beasts, while Mrs. Clavering had to make do with the pokiest sitting room you ever saw.
Of course, we are in hunting country, Miss Pratt, and the gentry must have their sport.
Yes, I know, Mrs. Gaskell. And indeed, he was true gentry, was Mr. Clavering. Oh, so gracious in his manners. Do you know, he actually bowed to me once in the street. Oh, I was most gratified, for the parson's wife was looking out at the time.
But the tragedy was that Mr. Clavering, in 1849, departed back to Northumberland, taking his dinners with him.
Leaving the White House empty, though not, unfortunately, for long.
Well, Jones, I'm impressed. Most impressed. It's all, well, very capacious.
Aye, the cupboard is very large. You'll find, Mr. Higgins. And the stabling. Allow me to show you the accommodation for the horses.
You suspected Mr. Higgins from the very beginning, did you not, Miss Pratt?
I did indeed. You see, I know the estate clerk, Mr. Jones. He's married to the daughter of a dear friend of mine, and it was he who showed Mr. Higgins round the house.
By Jove, these stables are a sight to behold, Jones. They look like a Roman emperor's built them. You know, perhaps we'll move in here and let the horses have the house.
And what was Mr. Jones's opinion of him?
Well, you must understand, Mr. Jones is not a man of discernment, Mrs. Gaskell. For instance, he was unduly impressed by the friends Mr. Higgins seemed to have.
By God. Lord Bedford should see this. Oh. He's just refurbishing his stables, you know, but it ain't nothing like this.
But, name-dropping, Mrs. Gaskell, anyone can do that. And the fact he seemed to carry a purse full of money on him, Mr. Jones was bowled over by that, you see.
There he is. You taking this place, sir?
Do you want any help with your horses?
We'll do it for you, sir.
Well, I'll know where to look if I do. Here. There's money for you. Scramble for it, lads, that's the way. And if you come this afternoon at 3 to the George, I'll throw you out some more.
But there was something Mr. Higgins said that took Mr. Jones aback, or, as he put it, was not quite in line with a gentleman.
I'm going to have some fun with those lads, Jones. Before they come, I'll make the money so hot in the fire shovel they'll howl when they pick it up. tell you what, come and dine with me at 2 and you'll be there to see it. I'll have made up my mind about the house, too, by that time.
But Barford was not so quick to make up its mind about Mr. Robinson Higgins and who he could be. In fact, the uneasy wondering continued long after Mr. Higgins's servants, and Mr. Higgins's stud had taken possession of the White House.
In direct proportion, of course, to the degree of perception inherent in each person's character.
Whoa! Oh, by gad, a famous run, sir. The first time you've hunted in our county, I believe. But I hope we shall see you often.
I hope to become a member of the hunt, sir.
Oh, most happy. Proud, I'm sure, to receive so daring a rider among us. You even jumped the Cropper Gate, I fancy, while some of our friends here... Oh, cowards, the lot of them. Allow me to introduce myself. Sir Harry Manley, Master of the Hounds.
Oh, pleased to meet you. My name's Higgins. I'm only lately come to occupy the White House at Barford, and I've not as yet presented my letters of introduction.
Oh, hang it. A man with a seat like yours might ride to any door in the county and be welcome. Mr. Higgins, I shall be proud to become better acquainted with you over my dinner table.
Fill every glass, for wine inspires us and fires us with courage, love, and joy.
Now, I'm not a snob, Mrs. Gaskell. You know I'm not. But did you hear what he did to the walls inside the White House?
I confess, Miss Pratt, I did not.
Well, I know the kitchen maid's mother very well, and she told me that it looked like a fairground. He'd had the walls, they were once a very dignified slate colour, he'd had them painted pink, and the mouldings had been picked out in gold. Can you imagine?
But the chimney was at last repaired.
And those lovely old-fashioned banisters in the hall were replaced by gilt ones. Oh, so common.
And he was very popular with the local hunt.
Well, yes, he inveigled his way in there with no difficulty whatsoever.
Herald elves on earth desire us, fill every glass, for wine inspires us and fires us with courage, love, and joy.
You've a fine pair of lungs on you, Higgins. This calls for a toast. Gentlemen, to Mr. Higgins, our new neighbour. Mr. Higgins.
And it must be said, Mr. Higgins knew pretty well how to improve the acquaintance thus begun. Not only could he sing, but also tell a good story, and was well up in practical jokes. By the end of 12 months, Mr. Robinson Higgins was out and out the most popular member of the Barford Hunt, as Sir Harry was observing one evening at the dinner table of an old hunting squire in the neighbourhood.
Do you know... pass the port, old chap. He's beaten all of us. A couple of lengths, at least.
So, you think he's all right, do you, Harry? You see, I mean, this young spark is looking sweet upon me Catherine, and she's a good girl, and will have £10,000 down the day she's married by her mother's will, and... Well, you must excuse me, Harry, for saying so, but I shouldn't like the girl to throw herself away.
My good squire, a better fellow never existed. If I had 20 daughters, Higgins should have the pick of them.
Never thinking to ask the grounds for his old friend's opinion, Squire Hearn was not a doubter by nature. The old man was able to totter with an easy mind, though not with very steady legs, into the drawing-room, where his bonny, blushing daughter, Catherine, and Mr. Higgins stood whispering close together on the hearthrug. A sight to warm the heart of any doting father.
And one can all too well imagine the thoughts that passed through the old fool's head.
It's true, Miss Pratt, he was perhaps a rather weak and indulgent parent, but then she was a very sweet-tempered and pretty young girl, very affectionate.
And his son and heir Nathaniel was about to be married too, of course.
And the thought of having both his children wedded happily, and his beloved daughter not an hour's ride away at the White House in Barford.
Well, as I said, you can see how the old fool's mind was working.
And she looks just like a poor dead mother used to when she was her age. Oh, so happy. So happy. And he's a good man. Sir Harry said so. And if my darling Catherine wants him, she shall have him.
And she did.
Eloped?
What? Oh,
Can't be true.
Oh, Catherine! Catherine!
Where is she?
Kate! Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, she's gone.
Catherine.
I'm sure she's gone.
Here. Look at this. What's this? What's this madness she writes? I have eloped with the man of my heart, Mr. Higgins.
Oh.
What the devil does she think she's playing at for?
Well, she was always a girl of spirit, Nat. You have to admit that it does take some courage to do what she's done.
Courage to fly in the face of all that's right and proper. Do you realise the slur this casts on our whole family?
Well,
at just such a time, too, as my own marriage. What will the baronet say to this, Father, eh? Eh?
Well, it is the act of great love, Nathaniel. An act of daring, and such an act as I admire and am proud of.
What? Have you gone completely mad?
I don't care to be spoken to.
And so the argument raged until at last Mr. Nathaniel Hearn declared,
From henceforth, my future wife and I shall have nothing whatsoever to do with my sister or her confounded husband.
Oh, just wait till you've seen him, Nat. He's an excuse for any girl. Only ask Sir Harry's opinion of him.
Confound Sir Harry. So that a man sits his horse well, Sir Harry cares nothing about anything else. Who is this man? Where does he come from, eh? What are his means? Who are his family?
Well, he comes from the south. Surrey. Or Somersetshire, I forget which. And he pays his way well and liberally. There's not a tradesman in Barford but says he cares no more for money than for water. He spends like a prince, Nat. I don't know who his family are, but he seals with a coat of arms, which may tell you if you want to know. And he goes regularly to the south to collect his rents from his estates there. Oh, Nat, if you would but be friendly, I should be as well pleased with Kitty's marriage as any father in the country.
But Nathaniel continued to gloom and mutter, and he kept to his oath that he should never meet with his sister again.
Indeed. Do you know, I heard Squire Hearn was obliged to steal away like a culprit whenever he went to visit the White House and make excuses for his absence on his return.
But Mr. and Mrs. Hearn were the only people who did not visit at the White House, for Mr. and Mrs. Higgins took up where Mr. Clavering left off, and gave friendly dinners every week, and were therefore most decidedly the more popular of the two couples in Barford. In fact, one could almost say they were universally popular, except there is always one to make adverse remarks and to draw ill-natured conclusions from very simple premises.
You see, I do not hunt.
So Mr. Higgins' admirable riding did not call out her admiration.
And, do you know, I saw him ahead of me, after we'd been riding a good hour at least, and we were just coming down Shotcombe Hill, and, do you know, he set his horse straight at that wall at the bottom. 8 foot it must be, at least. Straight at it he went, without flinching, and I watched him. He gave one flick of his whip, and that black mare of his, she soared over that wall like a bird. Oh, the courage of the man. Well, and the horse, too, I suppose. After all, credit where credit's due. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, where does a man learn to ride like that?
And I do not drink.
So the well-selected wines, so lavishly dispensed among his guests, could never mollify her opinion.
What did you say that wine was, old chap?
1822 Chateau Lafite. There's only 25 bottles left in the whole country, and we just drank 3 of them.
Oh, begad, you know how to live, Higgins.
Well, let's put it like this. I believe in drinking a better quality liquid than...
Than what is passing from you so liberally as we speak.
Right. Though if I were that ant down there, I'd rather drown in this stuff.
What? Than what comes from some bally ale drinker, eh? Yeah, quite right, old chap.
And I cannot bear comic songs or stories of daring do.
In short, her approbation was impregnable, and it was these 3 secrets of popularity that constituted Mr. Higgins' great charm.
Here, have some more brandy.
Oh, sure.
Did I ever tell you, Harry, about the time I bet my neighbour he couldn't stand on one leg in the middle of his dining table and balance a quart of brandy on his head while singing Non Più Andrai without missing a note?
Oh, easy. Well, easier than jumping the Cropper Gate in a thunderstorm, that's for sure.
What? Are you on then?
Are you betting me now?
Why not? Say 2 bottles of port that you can't stand on one leg in the middle of this dining table.
Is this a challenge I see before me? Well, out of my way.
And balance this bottle of brandy on your head.
Right. Oh, just a minute. Oops. Right. Now, pass the brandy up.
You've got it in your hand.
Have I? Oh, so I have. I place it on the head.
That's good. Hold it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, raise one knee very slowly.
This is tricky.
Brilliant! Big Ant, you've done it. Now, come along. Sing Non Più Andrai.
No, just remind me how that one goes again.
Oh, never mind. I'll be generous. An aria from any well-known opera of your choice. Off you go.
Opera. Right. Quanta la mobile, getting quite wobbly. La 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 la.
And just to finish my story, old chap, my neighbour couldn't do it either.
I have to apologise about the brandy.
Oh, no need. I made sure I caught that.
Well held. But then you always could hold your liquor. I've always... I mean... Well, how come you can? I mean, here am I, not fit to buckle my own shoes at the moment, and you...
Are you accusing me of not drinking equal measures?
Oh, no. No, I know you have, because I've watched you do it. But how come you're able to hold your drink like that?
Well, you never know when you're going to need your wits about you, do you?
Listen, I'm going to bet you now that you can't shoot a mark at 50 paces after drinking what you drank tonight.
You're on.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Come on, then. Now, I'm going to put this bottle on this wall.
Oh, not the brandy again, Harry.
Oh, don't worry. It's empty. Now, I bet you can't hit that from... oh, no. Go further back. It's got to be 50 paces. From here. Right?
From here?
Yes, from there. You'll be glad. I can't see the bottle now.
Yes, you can. Look. It's the silver streak above the wall. See? The moonlight's just hitting it.
Oh, yes. Right. Well, go on, then. Oh, wait. We haven't said what the bet's for.
Let's say 2 more bottles of port.
And 2 bottles of that excellent brandy.
Done.
Right. Off you go.
You know, this really is too easy.
I knew you couldn't do it.
Who said I couldn't? What about I have to hit the bottle with one pistol and with the other a bird that'll no doubt take to the air at the sound of the shot? What about that?
Oh, impossible.
Huh?
You're serious, aren't you?
Never been more serious in my life.
Well, all right. Make it 4 bottles of that brandy, then.
It's a bet.
Yeah.
Cover your ears, Harry.
By Jove! You did it! I can't believe it. I mean, where did you learn to shoot like that? That is astounding.
Shall we have some more tea, Miss Pratt?
Oh, that would be most welcome, thank you. I've been meaning to say, did you ever notice how very strange his behaviour was after each of his visits to the south to collect his rents?
No, I never remarked upon it.
Well, I noticed he always shut himself up afterwards and drank enormously for days at a time, though apparently no one else was admitted to these orgies.
Is that so?
Yes, and there was an incident about a month before the end at Mr. Dudgeon's newly built house.
What the deuce?
Did you ever see Mr. Dudgeon's new gardens? Oh, they were exquisite. There was not a flower in them, but it was of the rarest species.
Oops! Oh, I'm sorry about this, old chap.
And of all the places the poor fox could have chosen on the whole expanse of Wildbury Heath, he had to run right in at Mr. Dudgeon's gate. Mind you, if anyone could afford it, he could, being the only attorney in the district.
Must apologise. Afraid Reynard's forgot his manners and gone to earth amongst your petunias.
Ah, it's Sir Harry, is it not? Of the Barford Hunt.
It is, I am, and we are.
Oh, I'm honoured, I'm sure. Please do feel free. Let me provide you with some refreshment. Maisie, we have guests.
And of course, Mr. Dudgeon had to put a good face on it. Well, of course he did, in the presence of the aristocracy.
Oh, grab on, chaps! I could eat a horse and the rest of the hunt together. Now, come on. Oh, well, leave the hounds to dig him out. They're doing a grand job.
And he even bore, without wincing, the entrance of all their dirty boots into his exquisitely carpeted rooms.
Please, come in, all of you, yes.
Grand place you've got here, Dudgeon.
But perhaps his greatest claim to martyrdom was in allowing our dear friend Mr. Higgins to see over every beautifully clean room.
I'm going to build a house myself, Dudgeon, and upon my word, I don't think I could take a better model than yours.
Oh, my poor dwelling would be too small to afford any hints for such a house as you would wish to build, Mr. Higgins.
Not at all, not at all. Now, let me see. You have dining room, drawing room.
4 sitting rooms and the bedrooms.
Oh, couldn't impose on you to show me them, could I, old fellow?
The bedrooms? No, please, come up. Delighted to show you,
Come on, Ranger. Hey, not you two, Fleet. Tarquin! Well.
The more the merrier. Please, allow me. I confess, I took some pains in arranging the layout.
And when the visiting party had sniffed into every nook and cranny of the upper story, then Mr. Dudgeon made, in my opinion, his gravest mistake.
Hello. Not an 8th bedroom you've got here, is it, Dudgeon?
No. Well, if you're not tired, Mr. Higgins...
Not at all.
Then allow me to show you my little sanctum.
And do you know what was inside there, Mrs. Gaskell?
I've no idea. How is it that you do, Miss Pratt?
Oh, the scullery maid. I know her mother, Mrs. Gaskell. Mr. Dudgeon's so-called sanctum was the room in which he kept numerous boxes and chests, all containing the most valuable items entrusted to him as attorney-in-law, and which he considered safer there than in his office in Barford, which, though locked, was nevertheless left every night.
So you could say they are as safe as houses here, Mr. Higgins, sir. Now, allow me to show you the spring bolt here, which securely locks the window. You see, you lift the bar here and screw the nut here down as far as it'll go, and then click it into place like so. And hey, presto, as safe as the Tower of London. Now, this is my little secret. I invented this myself. If you press the lever here, it just springs up. See that? Neat, eh?
Ingenious. You are a man of many talents, Dudgeon.
Oh, of course, not everyone knows about the lever. Only my most intimate friends, Mr. Higgins.
Oh, you do me great honour, sir.
And lo and behold, if not a fortnight after the gentlemen of Barford had lunched there, Mr. Dudgeon's strong-box, securely locked away in his sanctum, with his foolproof lock on the window, is not...
Stolen! Amazing! We've been burgled! The money, everything they entrusted to me, it's gone! It's gone!
And so I understand, it became quite a standing joke between Mr. Higgins and Mr. Dudgeon whenever they met, for Mr. Higgins to ask...
Recommend a place of safety for my valuables, can you, Dudgeon? Any nifty little levers you got up your sleeve?
And if that doesn't suggest something to you, Mrs. Gaskell, well, I don't know what will. But time is running on, and I must get back.
Oh,
Good afternoon, dear.
My dear. In fact, it's as well that Miss Pratt has chosen to leave at such a moment, for this part of the tale becomes rather more serious, and Miss Pratt herself had a strange part to play in it. It happened a good 2 years after this time, that is, about 7 years from when Mr. Higgins had first been married. It was bitterly cold, one evening in February, when Mr. Davis, a clerk who worked in Mr. Dudgeon's office during the day, was sitting in the coffee room of the George Inn in the High Street, reading an article in the Gentleman's Magazine that he'd found there. Indeed, he was making extracts from it, intending to answer it, though unable with his small income to purchase a copy, which is why he'd stayed rather later than he'd intended, and it was shortly after the clock had struck 9 when the door opened, and who should come in but...
Mr. Higgins, sir. You look quite blue with the cold. Here, draw near the fire.
Oh, thank you, Davis. Oh, it is a trifle cold tonight.
You must have been out a while to get as cold as that, Mr. Higgins. Will you have a look at the newspaper, sir? It's the London one, and today's. There, well, I'm finished. Well, I'll be...
Any account of the murder at Bath in that paper, is there?
Has there been a murder at Bath? No, I haven't seen anything of it. Who was murdered?
Oh, it was a shocking, terrible murder. Terrible, terrible murder. I wonder what will become of the murderer. I can fancy the red, glowing centre of that fire. Look. See how infinitely distant it seems. And how the distance magnifies it into something awful and unquenchable.
My dear sir, you're feverish. Oh. How you shake and shiver.
Oh, no, I'm not feverish. It's the night, which is so cold. The article,
yes.
And for a time, he talked with Mr. Davis about the article in the Gentleman's Magazine, for he was rather a reader himself, and could take more interest in Mr. Davis's pursuits than most of the people at Barford. At length, it drew near to 10, when the room was closed, and Mr. Davis rose to go home to his lodgings.
Oh, no, Davis, don't go. I want you here. We'll have a bottle of port together, and that'll keep Saunders from turning us out. I want to talk to you about this murder. She was an old woman, and he killed her sitting reading her Bible by her own fireside.
Who do you mean, my dear sir? What is this murder you're so full of? No one has been murdered here.
Oh, you fool, I tell you, it was in Bath! She lived in a small house, in a quiet, old-fashioned street, she and her maid. People said she was a good old woman, but for all that, she hoarded and never gave to the poor. Mr. Davis, it is wicked not to give to the poor. Wicked, is it not?
It is, Mr. Higgins.
I always give to the poor. For once, I read in the Bible that charity covereth a multitude of sins. The wicked old woman never gave, but hoarded her money and saved. Someone heard of it. I say she threw a temptation in his way, and God will punish her for it. And this man, or it might be a woman, who knows, this person heard also that she went to church in the mornings and her maid in the afternoons. And so, while the maid was at church, and the street and the house quite still, and the darkness of a winter afternoon coming on, she was nodding over the Bible. And that, mark you, is a sin, and one that God will avenge sooner or later. And a step came in the dusk, up the stair, and that person I told you of stood in the room. At first First it is supposed, for you understand all this is mere guesswork.
Of course.
It is supposed that he asked her civilly enough to give him her money, or to tell him where it was. But the old miser defied him, and would not ask for mercy and give up her keys, even when he threatened her, but looked him in the face as if he'd been a baby. Oh, God, Mr. Davis, I once dreamt when I was a little innocent boy that I should commit a crime like this, and I wakened up crying, and my mother comforted me. That is the reason I tremble so now. That and the cold, for it is very, very cold.
But did he murder the old lady? I beg your pardon, sir, but I'm interested by your story.
Oh, yes. He cut her throat. And there she lies, yet, in her quiet little parlour, with her face upturned and all ghastly white, in the middle of a pool of blood. Mr. Davis, this wine is no better than water. I must have some brandy. Saunders, let's have some brandy here.
And Mr. Davis, who was horror-struck by the story, which seemed to have fascinated him as much as it had done his companion, kept his seat and forgot his original intention of getting home early to his warm bed.
And have they got a clue to the murder?
Here's your brandy, Mr. Higgins, sir. Evening, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Saunders. That'll be all.
Oh. Very well, sir.
Are there any clues left by the murderer?
No. No clue whatever. They'll never be able to discover him. And I shouldn't wonder, Mr. Davis. I shouldn't wonder if he repented after all, and did bitter penance for his crime. And if so, will there be mercy for him at the last day?
God knows. It's an awful story. I hardly like to leave this warm, light room and go out into the darkness after hearing it. But it must be done. I can only say that I hope and trust they will find out the murderer and hang him. If you'll take my advice, Mr. Higgins, you'll have your bed warmed and drink a treacle posset, just the last thing. Oh, and if you'll allow me, I'll send you my answer to that article there before I send it up to the editor.
Oh, yes.
Well, good night to you, sir. Sleep well.
Oh. Right.
The next morning, Mr. Davis went to call on Miss Pratt, who was not very well, and by way of being agreeable and entertaining, he related to her all he had heard about the gruesome murder at Bath. And really, he made a very pretty story out of it, and interested Miss Pratt very much in the fate of the old lady, partly because of a similarity in their situations. For, I have to confide in you, Miss Pratt also privately hoards money, and has but one servant, and stops at home alone on Sunday afternoons to allow the maid to go to church.
Oh, and where did you learn all this?
Yes.
And not wishing to admit he'd been in the George Inn, especially not to Miss Pratt, I'm afraid he told a small fib.
Oh, I remember now. From one of the chaps at work.
And when did it all happen?
I don't know if he named the day. And yet I think it must have been on this very last Sunday.
And today is Wednesday. Oh, well, news travels fast.
Yes. He thought it might have been in the London newspaper.
Oh, that it could never be. Where did he learn all about it?
I don't know. Perhaps he had a letter. I mean...
And in the way of small white lies, Mr. Davis became more and more entangled by his own fabrications, and more uncomfortable.
Yes, well, I shan't see you for some days. Godfrey Merton has asked me to go and stay with him and his sister, and I think it'll do me good. Besides, these winter evenings... and these murderers at large in the country, I don't like living with only Peggy to call to in case of need.
So Miss Pratt went to stay with her cousin, Mr. Merton. He was an active magistrate, and enjoyed his reputation as such. One day he came in, having just received his letters.
Here's the thing, Jessie. There's a poor old lady at Bath had her throat cut last Sunday week. Oh. And I've a letter from the Home Office asking to lend them my very efficient aid, as they're pleased to call it, towards finding out the culprit.
Oh.
Yeah, it seems he must have been thirsty, and of a comfortable, jolly turn. For before going to his horrid work, he tapped a barrel of ginger wine that the old lady had set by, and he replaced the spigot with a torn envelope taken out of his pocket, as may be supposed. And this piece of envelope was found afterwards, see? There are only these letters on the outside. Something Inns, Esquire, something Arford, something Anford. Any ideas, old girl?
Well, yes, I have. I heard the story of the murder before I came here. And it seems to me perfectly obvious that something Arford, something Anford on the address there is Barford near Cranford.
Well, what a thing. I think you're right. So you've either a murderer among you or some friend of a murderer. You've heard the story, you say?
Oh, yes, just before I came away. From Mr. Davis. Oh, but it can't be. A scrawny little chap like him.
No, don't forget the name on the envelope here. Something Inns, Esquire.
Yes.
Do you know anybody whose name ends in Inns?
Yes, I do.
Really? Well, out with it, Jessie. You may be holding the secret of the murderer's identity.
There is a Mr. Higgins who lives in Bath.
Higgins? What? Not that blustering fellow who ran away with Nathaniel Hearn's sister.
Yes.
Higgins. Oh, it's too horrible to think of. A member of the hunt. Kind old Squire Hearn's son-in-law. Oh, come, let's think. Who else have you in Barford with names that end in inns?
Well, I can't think. There's Jackson and Blenkinsop and Jones. Cousin, one thing strikes me. I remember now. I heard Mr. Higgins left early that weekend to go down south to collect his rents.
Well, what need is there to add much more? It transpired, with further investigation, that Miss Pratt's suspicions had been well founded all along. A gentleman, Mr. Higgins was not, unless one attributes the Gentleman of the Highway with that title. His rents, which he collected so regularly in the south, were, like that of Gentleman Jim and Dick Turpin, gathered from poor, or rather rich, unfortunates on the roads. But having hit a patch of bad luck in one or two of his adventures, and hearing exaggerated accounts of the hoarded wealth of the old lady at Bath, he was led on from robbery to murder, for which he was duly arrested a short time later at home in the White House in Barford, before a stunned and disbelieving group of relatives gathered together over dinner.
My darling Kate. My poor Kate.
And one has to give it to him. He made a most dignified exit.
I entrust her to your hands now, Father.
Oh, my daughter.
Look after her well. She's been a good wife to me. You know, it's strange. I always knew I'd be found out ever since that dream I had as a boy. God forgive me. God forgive me.
His poor wife took lodgings in Derby to be near him in his last awful moments.
Oh, pray for me, Kate. Pray for me.
And her old father, who now went with her everywhere, for he had abdicated his squireship in favour of his son Nathaniel, and was now her constant knight, her protector, her companion. He received her from her husband's last embrace, as she was led gently from the prison cell.
Oh, my daughter. My dear daughter. Oh, my dear.
And then it was all over. For Mr. Robinson Higgins was duly hanged for his crime in the October of that year, 1855. Oh, and just one last piece of gossip, supplied, of course, by Miss Pratt. There's a rumour that Mr. Higgins's ill-gotten wealth is walled up in some unknown concealed chamber, and it so happens that the White House is to let again. I walked past and saw the sign myself not a month ago. So, if anyone should be interested to investigate this mystery and find out this hidden closet, I can furnish the exact address.
You're listening to the Mysterious Magpie channel. Please subscribe.
This story concerns a very worthy, honest man. An ordinary man, destined, it would seem, to tread the same road as many other ordinary men. That is, to work, have his measure of both joy and sorrow, and then die at his allotted time. A road of both roses and thorns, except that, for some reason beyond our knowing, This particular man, this man called Nathan Huntroyd, his road was bedecked by roses with a subtle canker, and his strange history became one of the most curious tales I've ever heard. And who can say where the canker began? When he was young, he worked as a farm labourer and was a merry enough fellow, enough indeed to think of keeping company with the farmer's own daughter, Hester. But the farmer and his wife thought their only daughter could do a lot better than Nathan Huntroyd, and come next Lady Day, he was dismissed in somewhat cavalier fashion.
Got to let me go? What's that in plain English? You need edgy, don't you? Oh, hell.
And so, you can imagine his satisfaction when hearing that an uncle of his had died, leaving Nathan, by this time upwards of 40 years of age, enough money to stock his own small farm. He also learnt that Hester was still unmarried, though not flourishing as he'd always supposed her to be, but a poor maid of all work, her father having suffered a series of misfortunes which had finally brought him to the workhouse.
Yes?
Hester, thou dost not mind me. I'm Nathan. Has the father turned off at a minute's notice for thinking of thee for a wife 20 year come Michaelmas next? I've not thought much upon matrimony since, but Uncle Ben has died, leaving me a small matter in the bank. And I've taken Nab End Farm and put in a bit of stock, and she'll want a missus to see after it. Wilt like to come?
Well...
I'll not mislead thee. It's dairy and it might have been arable. But arable takes more horses than it suited me to buy, and had the offer of a tidy lot of cows. That's all. If thou'lt have me, I'll come for thee as soon as the hay's gotten in.
Oh, well, come in and sit thee down.
For a time, while she bustled about to get her mistress's dinner ready, she seemed to take no more notice of him than of his stick. But Nathan watched her brisk, sharp movements and said to himself,
"She'll do."
And after about 20 minutes of silence thus employed, he got up.
Well, Esther, I'm going. When shall I come back again?
Please thyself, and they'll please me.
Come here. There. I have pleased myself. And thee too, I hope. Is it a month's wage and a month's warning?
Yes.
Today's the 8th. July 8th is our wedding day, then. I've no time to spend a wooing, and the wedding mustn't take long. 2 days is enough to throw away at our time alive.
And with that he left. Hester resolved not to think more about it till her work was done, but when all was cleaned up for the evening, she went and gave her mistress due warning, and that day month she was married. The issue of the marriage was one boy, Benjamin.
Hey, he's a bonny lad, my Hester. You clever girl.
And he grew into a child of uncommon beauty. It is not often the case that two such plain, homely people have such a child, but it is so sometimes, and Benjamin Huntroyd might have rivalled an earl's son for grace and fair looks. And so life proceeded without incident until, about 7 years later, Hester's brother died, leaving 12 children. As Hester was on the point of departure to see to arrangements for her sister-in-law, an idea occurred to Nathan, and he ran after the wagon.
Stop! Stop! Hetty, if thou wilt, if it won't be too much for thee, bring back one of Jack's wenches for company like. We've enough and to spare, and a lass will make the house winsome.
And that was the way little Bessie Rose came to be an inmate of Nab End Farm. Bessie grew up a bright, affectionate girl, and she was so much a darling in the household, they even thought her worthy of their only son, Benjamin. As for Bessie herself, he ruled imperiously over her heart from the time she first set eyes on him. His parents' fondest wish was that the two dearest to them might themselves be married, and in time bring other dear ones to share their love. A sweet-smelling path in life so far, you might say. Surely there was no canker amongst his roses yet.
Hey, me boy, and what did you learn at school today?
You wouldn't understand even if I told you.
I suppose one could put part of the blame upon Highminster Grammar School, chosen because the local squire sent his own son there, and quite definitely a place destined to make many a parent's heart ache. If it had not been so utterly a bad place of education, the simple farmer and his wife might have found it out sooner. But the pupils there learned not only vice, but also how to deceive.
Father, would you let me have 12 shillings? I need to buy a new ruler and some books and for school and various other bits and pieces.
12 shilling, lad? Books come expensive at that school, don't they?
But if he must have 'em, Nathan.
Oh, aye. He must have 'em. So be it.
Thanks, Pa.
And so, to all appearances, he grew clever and gentlemanlike, and his poor father and mother were even proud of his airs and graces. Bessie, now a girl of 16, worshipped his very shadow, for it often amused Benjamin to pay attention to his pretty cousin, though she did not remain long in his thoughts when he departed back to boarding school. And when his education was finished, the first real blow to the heart, as opposed to the subtle poisoning that had already begun, came at his announcement that nothing would serve but that he must go to London for a year or two in order to pursue his chosen career in the law.
Sit thee down with us, lass. Sit thee down. Bring the creepy stool to the fireside. And let's have a bit of a talk over the lad's plans. Didst ever hear of this mad plan afore, Bessie?
No, never. We should have known it would come to this. He's educated now, wants to put it all to good use. Though there's examinations and I don't know what for him to be put through in London, so he says.
So it canna take 2 years, surely? No. It's the lad's own hankering after town life that makes him want for to stay there for so long.
Well, if it be his own hankering, I don't see any harm in it. It's fitting for a young man to go abroad and see the world before he settles down.
Perhaps. Though what's done's done. And worse, it's my doing. I mun needs make my bairn a gentleman. And we mun pay for it.
Oh, Uncle, he won't spend much. I'll answer for it, and I'll scrimp and save in the house to make it good.
Bessie, it weren't paying in cash I was speaking on. It were paying in heart's care, I meant. London's a place where the devil keeps court as well as King George, and I feel he's not strong in that way, and I don't know what he'll do when he gets close within sniff of him.
Don't let him go, Nathan, if you think so. Keep him here, safe under your own eye.
Nay, he's past time of life for that. Why, there's not one of us knows where he is at this present time, and he's not gone out of our sight an hour. He's too big to be put back in the high chair, Esther.
I wish it were a wee baby lying in my arms again. It were a sore day when I weaned him. And I think life's been getting sore at every turn.
Come, lass. That's not the way to be talking. Be thankful thou art getting a man for thy son as stands 5'11" in his stockings, and ne'er a day off sick. We won't grudge him his fling, will we, Bess? He'll be coming back in a year, or maybe a bit more, and be all for settling in a quiet town, like, with a wife that's not so far from me at this very minute. And we old folk, as we get into years, must give up the farm and take a bit on a house near Lawyer Benjamin.
And so the good Nathan, who saw more than the others, and knew that his roses were not growing as they should, tried to soothe his womenkind, though of the three, his eyes were the longest in closing that night.
I misdoubt me I haven't done well by the lad. Something's wrong about him. Or folk won't look at me with such pity in their eyes when they speak on him. God be merciful to Esther and me if the lad's gone astray.
The next day, Ben left for London with 15 guineas in his pocket from his father and a little more from his mother's black spoutless teapot, where she kept secretly, she thought, a little precious store of coins for a rainy day. Perhaps it was fortunate that she did not keep a close count of all she'd saved. And so life continued, and the little household tried to close over the gap as best they might. At first he was looked for every Saturday, but soon dreary winter was upon them, and still no sign came. He did not write so often as he might, so each one privately thought, and finally, though it appeared that the primroses had returned.
Surely there never will be such a dreary, miserable winter again as this has been.
The sun had not. And Nathan and Hester Huntroyd looked more than a year older. It also happened that spring Nathan heard sad rumours of his only child.
It's a bad place for lying, is Iminster. I never knowed such a place for getting up stories. But Bessie knows naught on 'em, and neither you nor I believes 'em. That's one blessing.
But if they did not in their hearts believe them, how came they to look so sad and worn, beyond what mere age could make them? Then came round another year, and another winter, yet more miserable than the last. But this year, with the primroses, came Benjamin.
So very good to see you all again. And how many fellows have you working for the farm now, Father?
Whatever does he mean by wearing those great buckles on his shoes? Sticking his feet out like a dancer. And he minces his words, as if his tongue were clipped short. Heck, he were a good-looking lad when he went up, and now look at him.
I think he looks a good deal better, Aunt, for them new-fashioned whiskers.
And she blushed, though more at the remembrance of the kiss he had given her on first seeing her, a pledge, she thought, poor girl, that in spite of his long silence in letter-writing, he still looked upon her as his troth-plight wife. There were things about him which none of them liked, although they never spoke of them. Yet there was also something to gratify them in the way in which he seemed content to remain quietly at Nab End. He went out in the morning with his father and lounged by his side as Nathan went round his fields, having heart, as he would have expressed it, in all that was going on, because at last his son seemed to take an interest in the farm.
I know my herd of Galloways looks small compared to our neighbours over there. Great shorthorns they are. But the milk as comes out of them is like blue starch water. I'm thinking they crossed the breed we have pumped not long since. Not like our rich milk. Look at Bessie's butter. What skill it shows. Part her own manner of making it, and part good choice of cattle. I sometimes think thou'll be for giving up the law and taking up the old trade, when thou wets with her.
This was intended to be a skilful way of ascertaining whether there was any ground for the old farmer's wish and prayer for the future. For Nathan dared to hope that now his son might settle down, since he'd never made much by his profession.
Well, you see, Father, law is a precarious livelihood. A man, as I may express myself, has no chances in the profession unless he is known to the judges and tip-top barristers and that sort of thing. Now, you see, my mother and you have no acquaintance that you may call exactly in that line. But luckily, I have met with a man, a friend, as I may say, who is really a first-rate fellow, knowing everybody from the Lord Chancellor downwards. And he has offered me a share in his business, a partnership, in short.
I'm sure that's uncommon kind of the gentleman. I should like for to thank him myself. For it's not many as would pick up a young chap out of the dirt, as it were, and say, "Here's half my good fortune for you, sir, and your very good health." Most on 'em, when they're getting a bit of luck, run off with it to keep it all to themselves and gobble it down in a corner. What may be his name? For I should like to know it.
You don't quite apprehend me, Father. A great deal of what you've said is true. People don't like to share their good luck, as you say.
The more credit to them as does.
Yes, but you see, even such a fine fellow as my friend Cavendish does not like to give away half his good practice for nothing. he expects an equivalent.
An equivalent? And what may that be? There's always some meaning in grand words, I take it, though I'm not book-learned enough to find it out.
Why, in this case, the equivalent he demands for taking me into partnership and afterwards relinquishing the whole business to me is £300 down.
Then the fine friend may go and be hanged. £300? I'll be darned if I know where to get them. And I've been making a fool of thee and myself too.
I should think, sir.
Sir? What do you sir me for? Is them your manners? I'm plain Nathan Huntroyd, who never took on to be a gentleman. But I have paid my way up to this time, which I shall not do much longer, if I'm to have a son coming and asking me for £300, just as if I were a cow and had nothing to do but let down my milk to the first person who strokes me.
Well, Father, then there's nothing for me but to do as I've often planned before, go and emigrate.
Go and what?
Emigrate. Go to America, or India, or some colony where there would be an opening for a young man of spirit.
It would maybe be the best thing you could do. But it would come hard like upon us, upon Esther and me. For whether thou art a good un or not, thou art our flesh and blood, our only bairn. If thou art not all as a man could wish, it's maybe been the fault of our pride. It'd kill the missus if he went off to America. And Bess too. The lasses think so much on him. Young man, I'll not call him a friend of yours to think of asking you for such a mint of money. But surely he's not the only one as could give you a start in the law. Other folks would maybe do it for less.
Not one of them to give me equal advantages.
Well then, thou mayst tell him that it's neither he nor thee as'll see the sight of £300 of my money. I'll not deny as I've a bit laid up for the future. It's not so much as that, though. And a part in it's for Bessie, as has been like a daughter to us.
But Bessie is to be your real daughter some day, when I've a home to take her to.
It'll be a happy day for us, then. And Bess, good lass that she is. Her heart is set on thee, too. But, lad, I haven't got £300. I keep me cash in the stocking, as you know, till it reaches £50, and then I takes it to Iminster Bank. Now, the last scratch they gave me made it just 200, and I haven't reached 15 yet in the stocking. And I meant £100 and the red cow's calf to be for Bess. She's taken such pleasure in rearing it.
Benjamin gave a sharp glance at his father to see if he was telling the truth. That a suspicion of the old man had entered into the son's head tells enough of the warped nature of his character.
I cannot do it. I cannot do it for sure. There's the black heifer to be sold yet, and she'll fetch a matter of £10. But a deal of it will be needed for seed corn, for the arable did but bad last year. I'll tell you what, lad. I'll make it as though Bess lent thee her 100. Only you must give her a writ of hand for it. And thou shalt have all the money in Iminster Bank. And see if the lawyer will not let thee have a share of what he offered at 300 for 2.
After a slight hesitation,
very well,
Benjamin graciously agreed to receive the 200 and promised to employ it to the best advantage in setting himself up in business. That night, when they were in bed, Nathan told his wife of the promise he'd made to his son and the plan in life which the 200 was to promote. Poor Hester was a little startled at the sudden change in the destination of the sum, which she'd long thought of with secret pride as money in the bank. But she was willing to part with it for Benjamin's sake, though how such a sum could be necessary was a puzzle. Even that was not so great a worry, however, as the thought of Benjamin settling in London, and Bessie going there too, for if all came to pass as they hoped, both Benjamin and Bessie would have to dwell close to Benjamin's new business. This thought took a hold on her mind, and would not be shaken off, even in the cold light of morning.
I reckon we must go to the shop for our bread. And that's a thing I'd never thought to come to so long as I lived.
I'm sure I'm not going to eat their nasty stuff. What do you want to get baker's bread for, Aunt? This dough will rise as high as a kite in a south wind.
I'm not up to kneading as I could do once. Nearly breaks me back. And when thou'rt off in London, I reckon we must buy our bread. First time in my life.
I'm not going to London.
But our Benny's going partner with a great London lawyer. And thou knowst he'll not tarry long, but what he'll fetch thee.
Now, and if that's all, don't fret yourself. Ben'll have 20 minds in his head before he settles, either in business or in wedlock. I sometimes wonder why I go on thinking of him, for I don't think he thinks of me when I'm out of sight. I've a mind to try and forget him this time when he leaves, that I have.
For shame, lass. And he to be planning and purposing all for your sake. It was only yesterday as he was talking to your uncle and mapping it out so clever. Only you see, it'll be hard work for us when both you and him is gone.
Bessie hastened to comfort her, and the two talked and grieved and hoped and planned for the days that now were to be, till they ended, the one in being consoled, the other in being secretly happy. Nathan and his son came back from Highminster that evening, their business transacted, and it was plain that the old woman yearned towards her son, and was already grieving at the morrow's parting. By her simple cunning, Bessie was able to contrive that Benjamin did at last sit beside his mother, where she proceeded to stroke his hand and murmur long, unused words of endearment, such as she'd spoken to him while he was yet a little child.
Tired, my lad?
Yes, deuced tired. I'm off to bed. Night all.
And he was gone, in one bound. Next morning he seemed almost impatient at their rising to see him off, and he made short work of his goodbyes.
Well, good folk, when next I see you, I hope you'll have merrier faces than you have today. You might be going to a funeral. It's enough to scare a man from the place. You look quite ugly to what you did last night, Bess.
And once more he was gone. For some time, Benjamin's letters, if not frequent, were full of exultant accounts of his well-doing. Then came longer pauses, shorter letters, altered in tone. About a year after he left them, Nathan received a letter which bewildered and irritated him exceedingly. Something had gone wrong. The lawyer friend had cheated him, and the letter ended with a request for the remainder of his father's savings, whether in the stocking or in the bank. Now it happened that the year had not been prosperous with Nathan. There had been an epidemic among cattle, and he suffered along with his neighbours. Before Nathan imparted the contents of this letter to anyone, he got pen and ink and wrote back a very explicit, if misspelt, negative. Benjamin had had his portion. His father had no more to give him. Nathan kept the whole business close to his heart, expecting every day either Benjamin's return, since he had no funds, or at least some letter in reply. But it was several weeks later before the postman called again at the farm.
It's got dead letter office stamped on the front of it. Lord save us! Uncle, there's a letter for you.
Dead letter office? Open it and tell me what it is.
It's a letter. It's in your handwriting. Oh, it's from you to Benjamin.
Oh.
And there's words written on the back. Not known at the address given. So, they've sent it back to the writer. That's you, Uncle. Oh, gave me such a start with them nasty words written outside.
He's dead. Dad's dead.
No, he's not dead, Uncle. That's not what it means. He's flitted from that lodging, that's all. He'll let us know afore long where he's gotten to. There, don't take on so, for it doesn't say he's dead. Now get up now. From this damp ground, Uncle, it'll do you no good.
Nor did it, for Nathan was confined to his bed for a week following, and when he got up again, he was an older man by 10 years. On Saturday, he stubbornly insisted on going into Highminster to market, against his wife's wishes, and when he came home, he was very tired, but also a little mysterious. And on doing his nightly check round, he asked Bessie to go with him, and when they were out of earshot of the house, he pulled a little shop parcel from his pocket.
They'll put that on my Sunday hat, wilt thou, lass?
What?
I'd like to wear a bit of black crape out of respect for my boy. For I know he's dead and gone, but I dare not speak it for fear of grieving the old woman beyond what she can stand. She'll never take notice of a bit of crape, if thou put it on canny and tidy.
Though Hester never entertained the idea of Benjamin's death for one moment, the knowledge that he was now gone, one knew not where, was a severe blow to her spirits, and the effects were felt throughout the whole household. Nathan could no longer direct his 2 men about the farm and take a good turn of work himself, while Hester lost her interest in the dairy, and Bessie, taking more and more upon herself, lost her youth in a very few months, rarely smiled, and never sang again.
I've news. Esther, Bessie, our neighbour, Job Kirkby, he's made an offer to take what land we'd like to sell, and I've no choice but to let him have it. Leaving just enough to keep 2 cows, mind, but no arable. And he wants the use of some of the outbuildings to fatten his cattle too.
Well, we can do with just 2. That'll leave us 8 or 10 pound of butter to take to market in the summertime.
Aye. And keep us from thinking too much.
I'm thankful to the Lord that this has come about, Bessie. I was always afeard Nathan would have to give up the house and farm altogether. And then the lad wouldn't know where to find us when he came back from America.
America?
He's gone there for to make his fortune, I'll be bound. Hey, but that's a pretty story in the Gospel about the prodigal son. And I'm sure our Nathan, well, it'll be like a resurrection for him.
So Farmer Kirkby took over most of the land belonging to Nab End Farm, and his son John, in years not much older than Bessie, made use of the cowshed, as had been agreed.
What's that you're about, Bessie, lass?
Just preparing a warm mash, Uncle, for the sick cow John's just brought in.
Aye. We'll be swift and then I've done. You shouldn't be running out in the dark and cold on other folks' business. I'm just going to lock up.
Don't take no notice, Bess. He's got a touch of rheumatics, and that's what makes him speak so sharp. He'll be right as rain as soon as Benjamin comes home. What's the matter with the cow?
John doesn't know, but it's ailing bad. He's going for the cow doctor as I came in. I reckon they'll have to stop up with it all night.
That wind's getting up. Well, gather round then. Light the tallow, Esther. And when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him.
Amen.
And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, Bring hither the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat, and be merry.
Amen.
For this my son was dead, and is alive again. He was lost, and is found.
This quiet pause at the end of the day was grateful and soothing to the household, as a lullaby to a tired child. Nathan sitting one side of the fire, the candle throwing a glancing light upon his earnest face as he read. Hester on the other side, saying Amen at any promise of future joy. And Bessie by her aunt, perhaps her mind wandering a little to those who were absent. It had become a custom, and more a necessary one. But this particular night, as Bessie sat listening, gazing before her towards the closed door, She thought she saw the wooden latch lifted up, as if someone were gently trying it from the outside. She was startled and watched again intently, but it was perfectly still now, and finally she persuaded herself it must have been a fancy. Before going upstairs, though, she went to the window to look out into the darkness. But all was still, nothing to be seen, nothing to be heard. So the three went quietly upstairs to bed.
What was that? What's that noise? Uncle? Uncle?
Upstairs, come on.
What'll I do? Oh, what'll I do? The window. Open. Oh, please, open. Oh, dear God. Make the ivy strong enough. Oh, dear Lord. Let me get to the bottom safe. John! John! For the love of God, come quick! There's robbers in the house and Uncle and Anne will be murdered!
My God! Front door open, is it?
Yes.
Bobby, you first light. Lead the way. Right. We'll go by the front and catch them all in his trap.
Run! Oh, run!
Bolt the door behind us, lass. We'll not let him escape. Come on, Bob. Stay there, Bessie.
Bessie did as she was told, and stayed by the front door at the entrance to the kitchen. Her attention was all on the struggle that was taking place upstairs, and her thoughts upon her uncle and aunt and their safety, when suddenly to her right, within the kitchen, she became aware of something strange. In that instinctive way in which we sense another presence, though we cannot see them, Bessie knew there was someone near her, that there was someone in the kitchen, and that they were moving towards her. The sudden crash of someone falling down the stairs halted the progress of the stranger in the kitchen towards her, and while she was still collecting her wits from the shock of this new turn in events, she was aware that the creeping figure to her right was moving away towards...
The cupboard. He's in the cupboard. There. Caught you. You shan't leave there in a hurry. Take care, there's somebody at the bottom.
Just here, John. He's out cold. Bessie, run off to the stable and fetch ropes to tie him up, quick.
Right.
Looks like this one's leg's broken. He won't pose too much of a problem. No, listen. That pitchfork of mine's solid oak has his head discovered. We'll bind him and then see after the old folks upstairs.
Yeah.
Aye, Bessie. Careful. He's coming round. Go again. Don't get... You'll not get away that easy. Quick, give me the rope. Hold him down, Bob. I got him.
The burglar, who was quickly overcome once more, looked up as he was being bound with the rope and caught Bessie's eye. Her evident dread of him made him smile, a terrible look of evil and defiance, and with that, her words of warning that yet another accomplice was locked in the cupboard died on her lips.
I think it best to get this one away, and it'll take two of us to do that safely. And I'm loath to leave you with this one alone, Bessie, but his leg's broken. He's broken for sure. So he can't stir, even if he comes to himself.
You'll not be long, though.
No, he'll not do thee no harm. Come on.
No, but come back soon, John.
Aye. I'll be back. Never fear me.
And Bessie was just on the point of flying up the stairs to see to her uncle and aunt when...
Bessie, for God's sake, let me out.
Who is it?
Bessie, they'll be back directly. Let me out, for God's sake, let me out.
Hush. Who are you?
Benjamin, damn it. Let me out, I say, and I'll be off and out of England by tomorrow night. Never to come back, and you'll have all my father's money.
Do you think I care for that? I wish there were no such thing as money in the world. I thought you'd come to this. There. You're free.
Oh!
I charge you never to let me see your face again. I'd never have let you loose but for fear of breaking their hearts. If you haven't killed them already.
But he was gone, before she'd even finished speaking. Gone into the black darkness and away.
Bessie! Bessie!
Uncle! Uncle!
It was a sorry sight that met her eyes as she came through the bedroom door. Her uncle lay on the floor, his head bloody, his body crumpled smaller than she'd remembered him. Her aunt was on the bed, unconscious.
It's all right, Uncle. I'm here now. They've gone. It's all right.
Bessie! Bessie, I'm back. Where are you?
I'm up here.
How are they?
They're cold. But I don't think that...
Nay, they've had a sore fright. They need something.
We've got some gin for emergencies.
Aye, a drop of that with some hot water. Oh, poor folk.
And so they tended the old couple, trickling the gin and hot water into their mouths with a teaspoon and rubbing their cold limbs.
There's a look of sense coming back into the faces, Bessie. I'll go down. Jack's coming to help me take the other man downstairs. He's still out cold. We had to gag the first one.
Never give heed to what he says. Folks of his sort are always dragging other folk into the mischief.
Aye. Well, when I've seen to the other chap, I'll saddle up and ride for the constables and doctor from Highminster. I'll bring Dr. Preston up to see Nathan and Esther first, and then I reckon that broken-legged chap down below must have his turn.
Yeah, I must have the doctor, sure enough. Look at them. Oh, they lie. Like two stone statues on a church monument. So sad. Solemn.
They're looking better than they were, though. You keep on bathing his head and giving them a sup from time to time, if I was you, Bessie.
And so he left. And for the rest of that terrible night, Bessie tended the poor old couple. Her own heart so stunned and bruised in its feelings that she went about her work like one in a dream. When the doctor came at about 8 o'clock that following morning, he was able to assure her that they would recover, though they would require care. In her heart, Bessie wished it had been otherwise, and that they all might have laid down to their rest in the churchyard.
What a mercy it were my cow was sick this very night. Them two would have made short work on it if you hadn't fetched us in, Bessie.
Luck indeed. You had a difficult task enough by the sight of you, John.
Aye. But one of them will bear the marks of it to his dying day, won't he, Doctor?
He'll barely have his leg well enough to stand his trial at the assizes. They're only a fortnight from now.
The assizes?
Yes. Aye, that reminds me, Bessie. You'll have to go to the trial as a witness. What? And the old folk, too, if they're well enough. The constable bade me tell you and give you the summons.
What will they ask them?
Now, don't be feared. They'll only ask them to tell the story of what happened.
How could he know the true reason of why her colour drained from her face in an instant? She had a secret she meant to take to the grave with her, in her heart, even if it meant she would have to perjure her soul. But in the event, she was not called to give evidence. For Nathan himself, under her good care, was recovered sufficiently to be put on the witness stand, while Hester sat in the courtroom, listening.
You heard footsteps coming up the stairs after your wife woke you?
Yes.
And could you tell me how many men there were?
There were two.
Only two? So, only two men broke into the house that night, is that correct?
Say yes, Uncle. You only know of two.
Would you answer the question, Mr. Huntroyd?
Only saw 2 men.
And are they the 2 men you see there at the defendant's table?
Yes.
But you see, Mr. Huntroyd, those 2 men have sworn under oath that there was a 3rd man.
Only saw 2.
You only saw 2? Did you, by chance, hear a 3rd?
No, you didn't, Uncle. You couldn't have... Unless it was when I was out getting jobs.
I repeat, were you aware at all that there was a 3rd man in the group?
Yes, I was.
And how were you aware of this 3rd man, Mr. Huntroyd?
I heard him.
And what did you hear?
I heard him shout to hold the old woman's throat if she didn't stop her noise. And to look for a young maid who was the next room on down the passage.
And can you offer any explanation of how the man knew these details of your house?
Because it was the voice of my only child, Benjamin.
Uncle. Oh, my darling uncle. And though the attention was all on Nathan at that moment, the crowd suddenly became aware of a small old woman rising slowly from her seat, with arms outstretched and a face indescribable, expressing the utmost pain that anyone can endure. The sound that came from her was unearthly, racked with the sorrow of the whole world in all its history. Too much for such a frail frame to bear. And she fell into the arms of those beside her and never took breath again. Nathan's journey is nearly done too. He still lives, though he is unaware that he does so. And Bessie tends him, an old woman herself now, past hope. John Kirkby calls upon her occasionally, and she smiles upon him. A smile that has in it just the faintest memory of roses, tall and strong, before the canker bites.
December 12th, 1727. As I write this, the Lady of the Holy Heart looks down upon me. It is an extraordinary painting. There stands the Virgin in all her beauty, except that her heart is exposed to view, as though her breast has been gashed open. And piercing her heart are many arrows, each representing one of her great sorrows. But my picture is only a copy. The original stands in the convent of the Poor Clares in Bruges. And perhaps it is because of this picture I have a strange yearning to tell the story of those incidents that wrought my life into such an uncommon pattern, the effects of which will never leave me, even until the day I die.
Thus begins an account, written over 100 years ago by a young lawyer, the ancestor of a dear friend of mine who lives nearby in Cranford. She handed me the manuscript, discovered by an enterprising butler on a rare foray into the attic of her house, knowing, as she said, that I like old things, and so it might be of interest. I spent the whole of yesterday evening lost in its pages, and I now pass on its contents to you. The story the young lawyer tells is indeed an extraordinary one, and best told in his own words as he wrote them down.
As is so often the case, the chain of events in which I became embroiled did not begin with my involvement, but was set in motion well before I was due to make my entrance. The story starts in the year 1711, in the West Riding of Yorkshire.
You shot nothing? What? nothing, Gisborne.
By God, hold your tongue. There have been days you've had poor sport.
Oh, aye. A couple of pheasants, 2 or 3 rabbits, maybe, but nothing. I don't remember coming home completely empty-handed.
What's that on the track up ahead?
What? It's a dog. Small terrier affair. You're not going to try and pot that, are you?
Damn your eyes!
By gad, you've hit him. Good shot, Gisborne.
Did you see the way he took it? Lifted him right off his feet.
Whoops. Looks like it had an owner.
You should have kept the dog out of me way.
What's she doing?
Good grief. Practically washing herself in its blood, looks like. Is she mad?
Watch it. She's coming towards us.
Hear me!
Hey! You're frightening the horses, begad.
Hear me, all ye spirits of the air! Hear me! I cry sorrow on this man!
Now, look. I'm sorry if
I live alone in this world. My only companion was this small creature that lies dead in my arms.
It's clear you're fond of it.
Hear me, ye saints! He killed the only creature that loved me. May his heart be pierced with many arrows, Holy Mother. Hear me!
Come. Here. Take this crown to buy yourself another dog and leave off cursing. I care nothing for your threats.
Is that so? For this death, you shall live to see the creature you love best. I, a human creature, become a terror and a loathing to you. Hear me, O holy saints, who never fail them that have no other help. For this blood's sake.
Hey, look what you're doing.
Be off, witch, and take your curses with you.
Aye, but the curse remains.
She spattered me coat. Look at it.
And your face. You've got dog's blood on your cheek. Here, wipe it off.
Blast her. Who the devil is she, anyway?
Beg your pardon, sir. That's the old witch from the forest.
She needs a ducking, whoever she is.
What's her name? Do you know it?
Fitzgerald. Bridget Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald? Had she ever a daughter?
No idea, man.
Yes, she did. One Mistress Mary, who went abroad and has never been heard on since.
I could wish she had not cursed me. She, of all people, may have the power.
Ah, tush! Your fortunes are well enough established, aren't they? What could she do? Come, forget it. Come on.
My part in the story began some months later. At the time, I was in London, living and working with my uncle, who was an eminent lawyer, and who was priming me to be his successor in business.
Oh, there's your summons, Philip. Called away to higher matters than copywriting, no doubt.
I expect it's merely another letter to be taken down, dear fellow. But fear not, your time will come for such excitement. Though little did I know that my time, the time when life was to change forever, irrevocably, was come upon me now.
Come in, Philip.
Sir?
Yeah, important business, Philip. A case has just come in. Yes, intriguing. I'd have taken it myself if I'd been 20 years younger, but it's going to involve a lot of travelling. So, I'd like you to pack your portmanteau and start for Kilmurray in Ireland this very afternoon.
Ireland?
Well, you can catch the post horse for Chester tonight, and if all goes well, you should be there in just over a week.
Well, but what's the...
Yes, now, come to the point. It would seem that some very valuable estates on the west coast of Ireland, belonging to the Fitzgerald family, have been left to... Yes, well, there's the rub. Who is the rightful heir? It's up to you to find him, my boy. And it'll take some legwork, I can tell you. Didn't exactly keep extensive records. Your best bet is to start your search in the town of Kilmurry itself, where the Fitzgeralds have their seat. But you can work it out for yourself. I've every confidence in you. Here, these are all the documents. You can study them on the way.
The ancient Fitzgerald family of the town of Kilmurry had the unusual tradition of passing the inheritance down the female side. Last known survivor, Hugh Fitzgerald, who lived... early in the century. And after him, the records peter out. I love nothing more than the hunt. The genealogical kind, that is. And I got wind of a lead soon after my arrival in Kilmurry. Having gained permission to study the old parish registers, I found, buried halfway through a huge dusty tome that looked as though it hadn't been opened in years, on the 14th of May, Hugh Fitzgerald to Bridget Shelley. Though it seems his married bliss had not lasted long, for while wandering amongst the gravestones outside in the churchyard, I came upon the family vault and the most recent inscription. 28th of September, 1702, Hugh Fitzgerald. A visit to the local inn later established that his widow, Bridget Fitzgerald, had subsequently moved away and was last heard of living near the village of Coldholm in the county of Yorkshire. It was one very bleak March evening that I finally found myself at the door of her small cottage. The undergrowth of the forest came up to its very walls, and the palings that had once surrounded it were broken and gone. Third time lucky. And, believing no one could possibly inhabit such a place, I was on the point of giving up when suddenly I was confronted by a majestic figure who stood silently awaiting the explanation of my errand. In the dark shadow of the doorway, I could only guess that there were eyes in the deep caverns beneath her brow. Your name is Bridget Fitzgerald, I believe.
It is.
I am a lawyer, and I have some information for you. May I come in? I am unwilling to keep you standing.
You cannot tire me. Come in.
The cottage was bare enough. Its only ornament, a rudely executed picture of a small dog which hung on the wall.
Sit down.
Thank you. Could I ascertain, was your husband Hugh Fitzgerald of Kilmurry in Ireland?
He was.
May I ask if you had any children by him?
I had a daughter, Mary. Oh, what of her? What of her?
I bring no news of your daughter. I'm sorry.
Oh, mother of us, give me comfort. Why do I still have this hope in my heart? She's gone. I know she's gone.
Forgive me, but do you have any proof that your daughter is dead?
Mary Fitzgerald is dead. No tongue ever told me, but I know it. I have yearned so to see her, and my heart's will is strong. I wonder often it has not drawn her out of the grave to come and stand before me and hear me tell how I loved her.
She would surely have known that.
Ah, no. We parted with bad blood between us. Oh, and I fear that I wished her voyage might not turn out well, only meaning, oh, blessed Virgin, you know I only meant that she should come home to her mother's arms. But my wishes are terrible. Their power goes beyond my thought.
But you do not know for a fact she is dead. Can you tell me? You said she went on a voyage.
We quarrelled, and she said she wanted to leave home. And she found a situation with a grand lady abroad over in Holland. And she left. And I never heard of her more.
And though this was a severe blow to my hopes, to be met with such a vague lead in my quest for the heir to the Fitzgerald fortune, it was as though some strange power took possession of my will, and I found myself saying,
"Fear not. I will search for her. I will not spare myself. Trust me. I will learn all that money, or pains, or wit can discover."
Ah, may the good Lord hear you and give you strength to fulfill your promise.
I say amen to that.
And I was on the point of rising when my eye fell once again on the small portrait of the dog hanging on the wall.
That is Mignon, my daughter Mary's own dog. She left him with me when she went away. He was the last link I ever had with her.
And is he no longer with you?
He was shot by a stranger.
And she fell into a kind of trance. I left quietly, returning to my lodgings to ponder my next course of action. Bridget Fitzgerald was obviously a devout Christian, and it seemed possible that the village priest at that time might remember Mary's departure from her mother's home. Further inquiries led me to discover that the man I sought was one Father Bernard, who was now living in Bruges. I travelled there, but found he had departed on a pilgrimage the week before. Wearied, both in body and spirit, by my will-o'-the-wisp search, I fell ill, and somewhat reluctantly, after leaving a note of my inquiry for Father Bernard, I returned to England, to the good advice of my uncle.
Rest! That's what you need, my boy. Take yourself off to some pleasant place and forget business for a few weeks.
And he recommended
Harrogate,
with its invigorating air, as a suitable place to recover my good health. Each day I roamed the moors, and my body grew stronger, though my mind was like a feather blown before the wind, forever dipping and lurching on its endless quest. Nor did it help that Coldholm and Bridget Fitzgerald's cottage lay in the neighbouring valley, acting like a magnet upon my thoughts.
Coldholm, you say? Well, it would take me an hour or two to get there, but what's there to see in Coldholm? Apart from the witch that say lives there. And now, come along. And I suppose it's all day you've been out on those moors and not a hot morsel of food inside you the whole time.
Well,
Now, if you were my son, and a few years younger, I'd give you a sound whipping that I would.
Well, I'll indulge in one of your excellent dinners now, Mrs. Howard, and mind it is an excellent one, seeing as the reputation of your inn depends upon it.
Oh, fear not, the dinner'll be good. Though the company a little sparse as usual. The sickly season is not yet upon us, it would seem.
Though I have seen one group, a distinguished-looking woman and her companion, who always keeps her veil down.
Oh, yeah. Those'll be the Clarks, Mrs. and her daughter. They're lodging in a farmhouse on the outskirts. Keep themselves very much to themselves.
I had once or twice come upon them at a sudden turn in the path, and before she had had time to draw down her veil, I had caught a glimpse of the young lady's face. I am not sure if it was beautiful, though it wore a look of intense suffering, without hope of relief.
And what is the reason for their seclusion?
Oh, I don't know, I'm sure. Though I've heard tell for all she seems so quiet, the young lady plays strange pranks at times.
And as it happened, one particularly wet day, when I was out on my usual walk, I turned a corner and discovered the ladies stranded like two butterflies on the bank of the lane, which had become flooded in the downpour. I rescued them, and suffice it to say, this event was the beginning of an acquaintance between us. I soon became a regular visitor to the farmhouse where they lodged, until one evening when I was met outside by Mrs. Clark in some agitation.
We have thought, sir, at least I have, that you know very little of us, nor we of you, indeed. And I beg your pardon, sir. I mean no rudeness. But I must say straight out, I think it would be better if you didn't come so often to see us.
Why ever not, dear madam? Forgive me, I have come to see that for some reason you are both very lonely, and in some mysterious sorrow and distress. May I not help you?
No, sir. You had much better go away and forget us.
But my heart won't allow me to give up so easily.
Oh.
There, I have confided more than I meant. But it's true, I have the highest regard for Miss Lucy, and I...
Oh, dear, this is what I feared. Then, if you won't go, we'll have to leave.
Madam, do you think I have no means of tracing where you go to or come from, or indeed what your whole story is? I do such work for a profession. I know your names.
You do not know our true names, sir.
Well, I may have conjectured as much. But I declare here and now that, perhaps from the first time I saw her, I have wished to become Lucy's husband.
Oh, what can I do? Then, stay. I'll tell you. Not all. You wouldn't believe it. But perhaps I can tell you enough to prevent your going on with this attachment. I am not Lucy's mother. She is long dead. Her father... Oh, dear.
Her father?
Believe me, he loved her well. But suddenly he turned against her. And now she has no other creature to keep constant to her but me. Oh, to think, only 6 months ago, sir, she was the darling and pride of her father's house. But, you see, there is a mystery in connection with her. And if you discovered it, you would loathe her and leave, never wishing to see her again like others have.
Well, until I know definitely what this mystery is, I will not desert her. And I implore you to tell me what it is.
I can't. I'm under a deep vow of secrecy. If you're to be told, it must be by her. I'll speak with her and tell her of this conversation. Come here at 10 tomorrow morning. If she agrees to tell you herself, then she'll meet you here.
Very well. What in heaven's name is
No, don't look through the window. I beg you. Leave us. Don't seek any more now. Go! I warn you. I don't think you can stand this knowledge you seek. But go now.
I will, madam. But I will return. Needless to say, I spent a sleepless night. And early next morning, long before the appointed hour, was on the winding path over the common that led to the farmhouse where they lodged. Ah, Lucy!
I came to meet you. I couldn't sleep. I only want to say this. I shan't think less well of you if you too leave me when you know. But no, listen. I want to tell you about myself. My father is a man of great wealth. He is a soldier, and his duties lie abroad. This is his likeness. It's a very good one, and I now wear it close to my heart, always. But I grew up very happily with Mistress Clark as my companion. My mother died when I was very young, and when my father did come home, he would bring me all manner of rare and precious things. They are a sign of how much he thought of me during his absences. I realise that now. I can measure the depth of his lost love by such tokens.
A look of indescribable sorrow came upon her face as she looked once again at the portrait in the locket, a face remarkably like her own. And I wanted more than ever to take her in my arms and comfort her.
No, don't approach me. I grew up, I say, in great happiness. Until one day, about 6 months ago, my father came home to us. And he seemed so proud and so pleased with all I'd done. And one day his tongue seemed loosened with wine, and he told me how my mother had died in childbirth. And then he went on to say how he loved me better than any creature on earth, and how some day he hoped to take me to foreign places, for he could hardly bear these long absences from his only child. Then suddenly He seemed to change.
Ha! What am I saying? You're not to believe what I've just said. There's many a thing I love better. My horse, my dog, I know not what.
And from that day on, it seemed to me as though he was afflicted in his mind, for he accused me of strange deeds.
You're a liar. Look at all the tender plants down there, all the bulbs I brought back from Holland. Trampled, quite destroyed. How can you deny it, madam? How can you? Those are your footprints, madam.
And when I denied everything of which he accused me, he swore at me and said he'd seen me with his own eyes. But that was only the beginning of my sorrows. There were many occasions thereafter when he found cause to reproach me, though I swear I knew nothing of what he said.
You were there, madam. I saw you, though I blush to say it. Such familiarity with mere stable hands. A gentlewoman like you. It was the conduct of a whore. Dear God, the shame of it. Look at me. Look at me when I'm speaking to you. Oh! Get away! Lucy! It's not you, is it? Oh, dear heaven! It's the curse! God help me!
And he fell back from me and shielded his face as though in terrible dread of me, and...
You're trembling. Sit down here on this log. May I get you some water?
No. I can see you don't believe me. You think this is all invention.
No, I don't. Not at all.
Oh, that I'm mad, that I must have suffered some delusion.
Or perhaps your father did. I'm sure it is not the first time in medical history that a person has been known to suffer visions.
No. You don't know. You don't know.
And as I looked at her, with the sunlight burnishing a halo round her head, at that instant, I saw a shift in her face.
It is there. It has come. Can you see it?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
In that perfect morning light, as I looked at her face, I saw Lucy, but with a loathsome demon soul looking out of her grey eyes, mocking me. My heart stood still within me, and then, as quickly as the vision had come, there was nothing, except Lucy standing before me, deathly pale.
Will you take me home?
I took her by the hand and led her silently back. I could not enter the house. I needed solitude. I returned to the inn and found a letter awaiting me from Father Bernard, forwarded from Bruges, concerning matters I had not thought of for what seemed like years. I read it without interest.
You left a message concerning the whereabouts of Mary, daughter of Bridget Fitzgerald. I took the liberty of making inquiries on your behalf, and discovered that she was once an attendant upon the Countess d'Auvergne in Ghent, until they quarrelled over Mary's attachment to an English soldier of some rank. The consequence was that she left the Countess's service and went to live with the Englishman, who I discovered was a Mr. Gisborne of Skipford Hall in Yorkshire. The Countess was later saddened to hear of Mary's death while giving birth, although apparently the child survived and was doted upon by Gisborne. In later years, however, it is said he has declined due to an affliction of the mind.
I dropped the letter unfinished. The events of the morning eclipsed any joy I might have felt in a renewal of the hunt. I flung myself upon my bed and fell into an uneasy sleep, where phrases from the letter and past conversations mingled in the swirling confusion of my overheated brain.
An English soldier of some rank.
My father was a soldier, a man of great wealth.
a Mr. Gisborne of Skipford Hall.
His duties lie abroad.
I am not Lucy's mother.
My mother died when I was very young.
Was later saddened to hear of Mary's death.
Her mother is long dead.
There was a child upon whom Gisborne doted.
She was the darling and pride of her father's house.
Hardly bear his absences from his only child.
It seemed to me as though he was afflicted in his mind.
The curse!
He has declined, due to an affliction of the mind.
The curse!
The Englishman I discovered was a Mr. Gisborne of Skipford Hall.
The curse!
I awoke with a start, and a possible ending to my search, which my befuddled brain had suggested in the twilight of my half-waking dreams. Gisborne. I ran as fast as I could to the remote farmhouse where I had left Lucy that morning. Mistress Clark, will you tell me truthfully, Lucy's father, is his name Gisborne?
Oh, it is.
And her mother, can you tell me if she was Mary Fitzgerald?
That was her name. How is it, sir, that you have come by this knowledge?
I will tell you by and by. But I have to inform you, and her, of some very important news. I am a lawyer, as you know, and I have been searching... I have very good news. Miss Lucy has inherited... Well, she is a very wealthy lady.
And what is the wealth of the whole world to her, sir?
Of course. What do you know about this bewitchment?
Only what rumours tell. A while ago it said Mr. Gisborne somehow offended an old woman who turned out to be a witch, and she cursed him. And ever since then, good fortune has never blessed his family. And Lucy has been afflicted with... Well, you've seen for yourself.
And all because of the curse. Bridget Fitzgerald, I bring news of your daughter, Mary. Your daughter is dead.
I knew she was. Tell me.
Not yet. You had once a little dog, the dog whose picture is on the wall there.
I have told you of him.
You have told me he was shot by, I seem to remember you said, a stranger.
The man who killed that dog rues it to this day.
What do you mean?
I have told you this too. My wishes can be terrible. Their power goes beyond my thought.
Are you saying you bewitched this man?
I am. In return for the death of the last creature on earth that I loved, his best beloved stands accursed.
Oh, wretched woman. That best beloved standing accursed before men is your dead daughter's child.
Oh, no! No!
I stood aghast at my own work. She lay prostrate in her great agony, and the fear grew on me lest she should die in her strife of body and soul.
No!
God help her in her suffering.
Lucy!
Take comfort. I followed you here. Mrs. Clark told me you had news of my illness.
Oh, God!
There, don't fret, lady. I'll bring you some water to drink. What is her name?
Who is asking? Who... Is it you, Mary? Have you come back, my Mary? Come back to me.
My name is not Mary, though my mother's name was.
Your mother was Mary? Your mother? Then I am your...
You are the cold home witch. I know you. Come. Let me thank you. It's you that called me for...
Oh, God!
Oh, dear God!
Oh.
And as I watched, Bridget rose slowly to her feet, staring in horror at the apparition that had been Lucy, and then began to speak.
This is my doing. This is my grandchild. And the curse has come full circle and fallen on my own. But I cannot pray.
The words stick in my throat. Your power is greater than mine. What am I to do? Yet, I defy you, and I will wrestle with you and draw you from her, if it takes my last life's strength to do it.
And she ran out through the door, while Lucy fainted clean away into my arms. After Bridget Fitzgerald's disappearance, Lucy returned to the safe guardianship of Mrs. Clark, while I, in fear of the demon presence, who seemed to take such delight in tormenting those who loved her, returned home to London. My uncle, meanwhile, had obtained the necessary testimonials relating to Lucy's descent, and all the great Fitzgerald property was now hers, though that all was as nothing. I wrote to Lucy, but we dared not see each other, and I sank deeper in spirit and took little joy in any pursuit, but became as a recluse. One gloomy November evening, a visitor came to the door, inquiring after me, and was shown into my room.
May I introduce myself? I'm Father Bernard. Some time ago, we were in correspondence over the whereabouts of a girl called Mary Fitzgerald.
Of course. Please, come and sit down.
I'm sent here with a message for you, sir, from one of my penitents in Bruges, one Bridget Fitzgerald.
Bridget? Why is she in Bruges?
Well, she came to find me. I'm her confessor of old, as you know, and it was to me that she fled after her encounter with her grandchild, Lucy. It was only by chance, if there is such a thing, that I came upon her not many months ago in the street beneath the shrine of the Blessed Virgin. I did not recognize her at first, though it was evident she was someone in hopeless trouble, and as such, it was my duty to stop and speak. Can I help you, my daughter?
Father Bernard! Is it you?
It is. Why, Bridget?
Oh, Holy Mother! I know you'll never hearken to me again, but hear him. You know him of old, and that he does your bidding. Hear him. Father Bernard, pray for me. She and all the saints in heaven cannot hear my prayers, for the evil one carries them off, but she'll hear you. I beg you, pray for me.
Blessed Virgin. And I did, praying for one in sore distress, of what nature I knew not. Bridget held me fast, gasping with eagerness at the sound of my words. Then I rose and was about to make the sign of the cross over her, when she shrank away like some terrified creature.
No, I'm guilty of deadly sin, and am not shriven.
Then arise, my daughter, and come with me, and I will hear your confession. And I led her into the church of Saint-Jacques nearby. She knelt in one of the confessionals there, and I listened to her story, which you know. And now it is by acts of deepest love and purest self-devotion she hopes to loose the curse she has drawn down upon her own flesh and blood.
How exactly may she do this?
By burying her former self and joining the Poor Clares, an order of the strictest kind. They dress only in coarse materials, they go barefoot and live on what the inhabitants of Bruges choose to bestow on them, sharing even these crumbs with the poor and helpless. They are utterly dead to everything but the alleviation of suffering. And so, it's not in the name of the witch, Bridget Fitzgerald, that I come to you now, but of the penitent and servant of all men, the poor Clare, Sister Magdalene. She has striven for many months in this manner, and wishes to know whether her penance has been acceptable in the eyes of God, and the curse has been lifted.
I have not seen Mistress Lucy for a long time. But from letters she has written, I know there has been no change, and she is still tormented.
Ah. Then all hate cannot be quenched in Bridget's heart. All Christian forgiveness cannot have entered into her soul, or the demon would have lost its power.
And he rose, sadly, to go. I was even more restless and miserable after this, and at length I asked my uncle's leave to travel. He agreed, and I left, with no distinct plan in mind other than to get away from myself. A strange impulse led me to Bruges, in spite of the wars then raging in the Low Countries, and I made inquiry for Father Bernard, and met him, not far from the dim grey walls of the convent of Poor Clares.
You take a risk coming here at such a time. There's constant rioting in the city. It's not safe.
Have you met with Bridget? Or should I say Sister Magdalene, since I last saw you?
No, though news will creep out, even from a convent of Poor Clares. Apparently she does more than all the other nuns put together. Yet, when last month they would fain have made her Mother Superior, she begged rather that they would place her below all the rest, and make her the meanest servant of them all.
Then she strives still.
Aye. Do you know, curiously enough, Mr. Gisborne, Lucy's father, is serving in one of the Austrian regiments. He's garrisoned right here in Bruges.
The news disturbed me, and I began to feel that events were being fashioned around me, and that I had been brought here for a purpose. That night, Bruges was in open revolt against the Austrian masters. Fighting broke out close to the city port where I was staying. I took up arms with the rioters, whose cause I adopted, and we clashed in savage battle with the Austrians, numbers falling on both sides. I saw the wounded lie bleeding, then a cannon fired and a volley of smoke obscured the scene. As it began to clear, I saw grey-robed figures like ghosts moving silently among the bodies, tending them. Sometimes it was to give drink from cans which they carried slung at their sides. Sometimes I saw a cross held above a dying man, and rapid prayers being uttered. I saw all this as in a dream, but I knew that these grey figures, their bare feet all wet with blood, and their faces hidden by their veils, were the Poor Clares, sent forth now because dire agony was abroad. Suddenly fighting was renewed, and I found myself swept along down a narrow street and into a large square where I saw several rioters had got possession of guns, and the havoc created was at a more desperate pitch. The only way we could distinguish the enemy in the smoke and confusion was by the uniforms they wore, and whenever I saw a uniform, I lunged at it and fought with all my strength, until one time something made me look up into my enemy's face, and I saw the face I knew so well, from its likeness to a daughter and a miniature in a tiny locket.
Gisborne! Stand back! I'll finish him with this!
No!
Suddenly, a deathly calm seemed to descend over the scene. As if time had slowed, I watched as a Poor Clare flung herself between Gisborne and the man holding the gun. The gun fired. And as she fell, her hood slipped back from her face.
Bridget, is it you?
Her eyes registered recognition for a moment, but then focused on the air above her head, as she said,
Is this enough, Holy Mother? I have lain down my life for him. I cursed him for the grief he caused me, but now I have saved him. Is this penance enough?
And as I watched, her eyes glazing, her body growing limp. I saw a look of intense joy come upon her face. I looked up to see what she gazed at, but could see nothing. And when I looked back, she was dead. I was allowed inside the walls of the convent for her burial, and it was during that service that I saw for the first time the picture of Our Lady of the Holy Heart. As I gazed at it, my vision blurred, and for a moment the face of the Virgin disappeared, and I saw the features of Bridget Fitzgerald, her breast open, and her heart pierced with the arrows of sorrow. I felt myself especially blessed to have been vouchsafed such a vision, and now, each day when I rise and behold my lovely wife, Lucy, and our 3 blessed children, I look at the picture and give thanks to the Lady of Sorrows.
This story is set many miles from here, on the coast of New England, in the year 1691. A year in the history of America many would wish to forget.
Oh.
It involves a young girl, not 18 years of age, left suddenly alone in the world.
Oh, pardon me, but is the cat...
Hey, there's 10 ton and a half here.
A young girl flung upon a course of events wholly unthinkable not 1 month before.
Pardon me?
Hey?
Captain Holderness, I'm waiting for him. Will he be much longer?
Can't say. The hold's crammed. It's all got to be put ashore.
For if she'd been told she would cross the wide Atlantic in a ship full of strangers to land on a strange shore where she was to live for the rest of her short life.
How did's like the voyage, eh? Did's get thy sea legs at last?
For good, I think. I feel the rocking beneath me still.
I tell the captain where you be, don't fret. This wind will drop with the dawn.
If she'd been told all this, she wouldn't have believed it possible. But then, how could she have known that within 1 short month her father would be dead and her mother stricken by the same fever?
Mother.
My poor Lois. My father gone, and now... Hearken to me. I've a brother. He left years ago for New England. He'll take thee in. I've written to thy father's old friend, Captain Holderness. He'll guard thee on the journey. Promise me thou wilt go, Lois. Promise me.
And she did. And with that promise, she lost all whom she loved, and who loved her.
Lois, I vow I will work and prosper, and wherever ye be on God's earth, I will come for thee as soon as I can.
I, Hugh, and I will wait for thee.
Do, for I will. I will come for thee, Lois. I will come for thee. Lois. Lois.
But now it was only the voices of ghosts that could comfort her, as she sat listening to the wind on Boston Pier, over 3,000 miles from home.
Lois? 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 Hey, Lois!
Oh!
Ah, dreaming, lass. Come, it's a good day's journey, and the sooner we find means to get there, the better.
What is the town called, Captain, where my uncle lives?
Does not know. A new home, Lois. It's called Salem.
May the Lord protect and keep us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
Forest draws close up ahead. Keep your eyes peeled at the back there.
Aye, I'm watching. What are they frightened of, Captain?
Never you mind, lass. Rest your head on my shoulder. Try to sleep.
Art new to the country then, lass?
Yes.
Ah? Well, I'll tell thee, for thou ought to know. It's Indians I've got to watch for, lurking in the dark of the trees.
Aye, must be on your guard. These red men are the evil creatures we read of in Holy Scripture. In league with those damn papists, I shouldn't wonder.
Yeah. They're flesh and blood like you and me. They bleed if they're scratched.
Speak not lightly of Satan's powers. I know there are seeming men who are in truth demons, permitted to roam about the waste places of the earth.
Can this be true?
You'll have to get used to talk like this, lass. They're a queer set, these New Englanders.
These painted savages. They're in league with Satan to fright us from the country he's ruled so long.
Well, it's not safe to go far into the woods, true. And the Indians hate the white man. And with good reason, since their hunting grounds have been taken without a by your leave.
Nay, Holy Scripture itself speaks of the power of the evil one in desert places.
And of the power of witches.
Oh, aye. Witches. We've heard tell of them, even in the old country.
We had a witch once, in Barford when I was little.
Oh, aye, that.
I felt quite sorry for her. No one knew where she came from, but she settled in a mud hut by the common and lived there all alone except for a cat.
Ah, her familiar.
Was she condemned at last?
Well, it did happen that soon after she arrived, many a one fell sick in the village, though I never heard much about it. My father said it was ill talking about such things.
What was that?
A bird. We saw him fly across the track. It was no red Indian, mistress. Take comfort.
Deliver us from evil, Lord, and make thy light to shine upon us. Amen.
Amen. So, what happened to this old woman in your village, lass?
Well, all I remember is, one afternoon, the maid was taking me through a meadow where the Avon makes a deep pool, and up ahead there was a crowd of folk all staring. And the maid lifted me up so I could see, and there was old Hannah in the water, her grey hair streaming out, and her cat tied round her neck. But she caught sight of me and cried, "Parson's wench yonder in thy nurse's arms." She was half drowning as she spoke. She said, "Thy father never tried to save me, and none shall save thee when thou art brought up for a witch."
My mind misgives me. The hellish witch might have had power from Satan to infect her mind. Here, I call upon you all to join with me in prayer that her heart may be purged from all iniquity.
Well, there's no harm in that. But while you're at work, just pray for us all, Pastor. For I'm afeard there may be some need purging from iniquity, a good deal more than Lois Berkeley.
And so it was that Lois made her entry into Salem, and was brought at last to the door of her uncle's home.
Good evening to you. Is this Ralph Hickson's house?
It is.
Well, this is his niece, Lois Berkeley.
You better come in.
Right, go on a second.
Mother, there's someone here who claims kin.
I heard. But I know nothing of any niece.
Here is a letter from his sister. Is Master Hickson at home?
My husband is dead these last 2 weeks.
Truly sorry to hear it. Then perhaps you might read the letter.
No longer the object of her aunt's hard, cold stare, Lois felt able to look round and observe the room. Its stark bareness offered her little comfort, and when she caught her cousin Manasseh's eyes furtively watching her, she felt more uncomfortable still.
How many years has she?
I think she can speak for herself. Lois?
I am 17 years old.
So, you are the child of my husband's brother, who took oaths to the papist Charles Stewart and stuck by his living when all godly men left theirs.
They might have been godly, those who left their churches, but those who stayed were too. You cannot limit godliness to those you agree with.
Well said, lass.
Mother, it's ill speaking of such matters when my cousin comes first among us. They both have travelled from Boston City today and must need rest and food.
What Manasseh says is true. Come, be seated. Faith, put baby Joseph in his cot. And you and Natty prepare some meat and flour cakes for our visitors.
No tears now, lass. You're tired. You'll feel better when you've eaten.
Grace Hickson made provision for Lois to join her family, though she at no time made any show of affection towards the girl. She was to share a bed with Faith, a young girl of about the same age as herself, and to help Natty, the old servant, to prepare meals in the kitchen. While her aunt told her these arrangements, another daughter, Prudence, a girl of about 12 years old, darted about making faces at Lois behind her mother's back, while Manasseh, with his deep-set eyes and his dark tangled hair, sat silent, like some brooding animal in the corner of the room. The next morning the captain took his leave of the family, and taking Lois aside, spoke words of encouragement to her.
You'll take to them, lass, maybe, when I'm not here to make you think of the old country.
Oh.
Nay. Parting is hard work at the best of times, so none of that. I'll come back and see you next spring. Eh? And who knows what fine young man may come with me, eh? There. I'm off. God bless you.
And he departed, and Lois was left alone.
Oh, will this baby never stop? Faith, give him to Lois, and you help Natty.
Yeah, come here, little one. La 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 la.
Well, look, it's like a picture here in this book I've been studying. See Mary and Joseph with the baby. Hey? Cousin Lois? Cousin Lois!
Manasseh, remember thy place, Manasseh. Now thy father is dead, you are head of this house.
I mind. Oh, I will go hunting.
Natty, fetch the flour from the storehouse.
Boo! Oh, hush, Prudence, you'll rouse the baby. Just like my brother, cousin. No, not the baby. I mean, the other one. Oh, pretty boy, going off to sleep. Prudence, why did you do that?
You can make some flour cakes for the meal, Natty. Oh, dear me, he's howling worse than ever. Oh, give him to me. Oh, there. Oh. Well, don't just stand there, girl. Look at the floor. Go find the brush.
And so she lived from day to day, with much strangeness about her. And on the rare occasions when she could leave the house, on some household errand, she could not avoid glimpsing the dark, dreary wood, hemming in the town on all sides. Where she had heard tell, the Indians lay in wait for some unsuspecting traveller.
Natty? Is that you?
You run. You see snake with two heads, eh?
No. What? What is it?
Ah, you see snake with two heads. You look in eyes, you lost. You Lois no more.
What do you mean?
He cast spell. He make you go into forest, look for Indian man, and make you beg to go with him. And no one see you again.
This is just a story, a fable.
No, there's spells hidden on ground that change you if you step on them.
Change you? How?
They take your spirit, turn you bad. There's one here. They caught one here.
What do you mean? Shh. What's been spoken? Natty, why are you trembling?
No, missy. Natty fine. Natty old.
Where's my brother, Manasseh?
He go hunting in forest. He no care about dangers. Your mother, she call him brave. But some say he not brave, he mad.
Hush! You know my mother doesn't allow such talk. What were you whispering about when I came in?
Nothing. Miss Lois, she tell you nothing.
Lois? It was just a story. Tell me. Natty, I'll pinch you if you don't tell me. Tell me. Prudence, you're hurting her. So, she's only an Indian. An Indian? Is Natty... Of course she is. Can't you tell? Look at her skin. Can't you smell the difference? Prudence! Oh, it's all right. She doesn't mind, do you, Natty? Otherwise you get one of these, don't you? Oh.
Prudence, stop that! Prudence, our mother wants you. Pastor Taphow is here.
Very well, sister.
Natty? Why is Faith always so sad?
She step on spell too. One that brings pain here.
In her heart? Do you mean that...
Lois, Mother says you are to join us for prayers.
Come quickly.
And look down upon this godly woman, Grace Hickson, O Lord, and bless her house and all who dwell in it. We seek your blessing upon Manasseh, the son and heir of this family. Give him guidance, O Lord.
The long, rambling prayer of the pastor, which had begun by asking for blessings on all possible combinations of Christian men, and for succour in all possible cases of spiritual need, took on a more personal note towards the end, when he put up a supplication for each member of the household, according to his notions of their wants.
And we pray too for the maiden from another land, who hath brought the errors of that land as a seed with her, even across the great ocean, and who is letting even now the little seeds shoot up into an evil tree, in which all unclean creatures may find shelter.
How just like Pastor Taphow, cousin? He seems a good man, although I like not his prayers. No? Well, not so well as the prayers I used to hear at home. Mother says thy home was with the ungodly. Nay, don't look so. It was not I that said it. I'm none so fond of praying myself, nor of Pastor Taphow for that matter. But Faith cannot abide him, and I know why. Shall I tell thee, Cousin Lois? No, if I am to know it, then Faith will tell me herself. Hast heard there was a disagreement between Pastor Taphow and another man last year? No. Pastor Taphow had to ask for this other man to be removed from office because he disagreed with many of the things Pastor Taphow said. This other man's name was Mr. Nolan. Oh. Ask Faith where young Mr. Nolan has gone to, and she'll tell thee more, if she can stop herself crying. Hush. Oh, and Manasseh says he has had another vision.
Prudence, I hope you are not speaking disrespectfully of our brother.
No, sister, I'm not. Manasseh said he dreamt last night that birds could speak and bring us messages from heaven, like angels. And he said he had converse with an owl in his dream, who told him Mr. Nolan would return to Salem. I thought you'd like to know.
Faith, are you awake?
I am that.
was an old custom back home when you couldn't sleep to count sheep. Only you had to use the old shepherd's words for it. Wontherum, Tootherum, Cockerum, Cutherum, Shatherum, Shatherum, Wineberry, Wigtail, Tarrydill, Den. Have you heard of such as that? No. We used to do some silly things. Hast heard of apple bobbing? That's good fun. You have to get an apple from a barrel of water without using your hands, only your mouth. I got one once. Only I had to put my head right under it to do it. It was on Halloween we did that. I remember someone told me, if you then stand facing a mirror and eat the apple, then you'll see your future husband standing over your shoulder. And he'll reach out and take the apple from you. Did you try it? Such a trick they played on me. I went upstairs to look in the mirror, thinking there was no one in the room, and as I bit into the apple, 3 of them jumped out from behind me. They gave me such a fright.
But if you do it serious, does it work?
Some say it do. There's other ways too. You can look into a brook at the stroke of midnight and you'll see his face there. Prudence? Are you awake?
Cousin Lois may go out and meet Satan by the brookside if she will, but I will tell Pastor Tappow.
Prudence! Her eyes are staring, but she's not awake.
I would rather never be wet at all than see a creature over my shoulder and feel his touch.
Wake up, Prudence! Stop this!
Look over her shoulder there! I see him stretching over for that half-bitten apple! She's conjured him!
But there's no one there, Prudence. You're imagining things.
She can't hear you. She's still asleep, though her eyes are open. Oh, she does this sometimes.
Cousin Lois is an English witch!
Prudence! Prudence, wake up!
What's the matter? Prudence, was that you?
Oh, she was having a bad dream, Mother.
I would rather never be wed at all.
What is it, my maid?
She's dreaming. I'll stay by her till she's calm. She'll be all right, Mother. See? She's fallen back to sleep already.
Oh, and I just got the baby settled. Oh, Thomas. Shh. There, Thomas.
So Grace withdrew, eventually soothing the baby back to a fitful sleep. But in the remaining hours of the night, the whole course of life in that house was changed. For in the morning, the baby was found dead in his cot.
Lois? Crying?
Only a little.
I don't wonder thou grievest after the baby. Though my mother says one should not forget it is God who gives and God who takes away. And so it is God's will. And to grieve too deeply is not fitting. But, Lois, perhaps this is not the time to talk of marriage. But soon, I wish to speak to thee.
No. Cousin Manasseh, I have to tell you, I don't want to be married. I would rather not.
That is well spoken. I should not like to take to wife a maiden ready to jump at wedlock.
But let me tell you truly now, I can love you as a friend, but never as a wife.
It is borne in upon me. I see it as in a vision, that thou must be my spouse, and no other man's.
Manasseh, you ought to know there is a young man in Barford. Hugh Wickham, who has asked me to marry him. I am as good as betrothed.
Yesterday, when I sat down to read and opened the Holy Bible, I saw no letters printed on the page, but the type of some unknown language. And its meaning was whispered into my soul. It was, marry Lois. Marry Lois. It is the Lord's will, Lois. and thou canst not escape it.
I do not acknowledge it to be the Lord's will, Manasseh.
The voice said unto me, Marry Lois. And I said, I will, Lord.
But the voice, as you call it, has never spoken such a word to me.
Oh, Lois, it will speak, and then thou wilt obey, as Samuel did.
No, indeed I cannot. These are the fancies of your own brain, not God's will. No, I cannot marry thee, Manasseh. I cannot.
The winter of 1691 was exceptionally harsh, and the township of Salem was cut off from all contact with the outside world by deep snow. In the stillness of this night season, a white mist would form and creep nearer and nearer to the windows every evening in strange shapes, making the unreal seem real, while the minutes spun into hours to the same slow beat. On one such evening, there came a visitor to the house.
Is Mistress Hickson at home?
Faith, Mr. Nolan is in the outer room. He asked for my aunt, but she's left just now for the prayer meeting, and Manasseh's out hunting. Well, go to him, or he'll think he's not welcome.
Old Indian woman, they send her here and there, treat her like a child. But old Indian woman knows. She know how to call. And when she does, white man must come. The old Indian, she spoke not a word, and white man, he heard nothing with his ears.
Lois, Mr. Nolan says you are to join us to pray for baby Joseph. Come.
But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Nolan, sir, you must go. We are still in grief, and doubtless my cousin needs more quiet than she's had today.
Of course. Oh, perchance I may call again tomorrow, Miss Lois?
If you wish.
Lois? Why did you send him away? I should have been better directly.
But he's coming again. He asked to return tomorrow.
But not to see me.
Oh, hush, hush thee, my bird.
Lois, where is my mother?
At a prayer meeting at Pastor Tapow's. She has taken prudence. Faith has left the room this minute. I will call her.
Lois, the time is going by, and I cannot wait much longer. The visions come thick upon me. Only this night I saw in my dream the Spirit come and offer thee 2 lots. And the colour of one was white, like a bride's, and the other was black and red, which means a violent death. And when thou didst choose the latter, suddenly thou wert as a corpse 3 days old. Oh, Lois, I would fain spare thee. Give me thy hand.
Oh.
Give it to me. Oh, it is so white, so soft. And the voice said unto me, Marry Lois.
What means this?
Oh, Aunt!
Loose thy hands! What means this? Speak!
My cousin seeks me in marriage.
Thee?
It is preordained. The Spirit has brought her to me as my bride.
Spirit? Oh, an evil spirit, then, to choose a stranger like this girl, and not a godly maiden from thine own people.
Aunt Hickson, I've told Manasseh I am already betrothed to a young man of my own village.
Oh, the Lord hath overruled it. You shall be wed to me. It is ordained.
Hush, Manasseh!
Nay, I will not. If she does not obey divine will, she deserves her fate.
My fate?
You will die, and I will not lift a hand to help you.
Alas, my son, art bewitched!
Aunt, I cannot marry him. I cannot.
Oh, quiet, child. He is becoming disturbed again in his mind.
I have seen signs of late. Manasseh, come on, my son. Look, come away now.
And Grace Hickson took Manasseh away and began to keep a careful watch over him. At the same time, Faith's spirits seemed to sink even further, despite the frequent visits by Mr. Nolan.
He cares not for me.
Hush, hush.
He cares more for Lois's little finger than for my whole body. She has bewitched him. Oh, curse her, curse her!
Ah, she in the next room.
What can I do, Nanny?
How can nest be built when other birds got all the feathers? Wait till the Indian can send other bird flying away.
It was now the end of February. The land was still held in the grip of winter, and Salem was turned ever more in upon itself.
Praise of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Son of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit.
Mother, what's happened?
Oh, what is it? Daughters, Satan is abroad. I have this very hour seen him afflict 2 innocent children, contorted into such shapes.
Oh, were they?
Hester and Abigail Tapau. And when the godly father began to pray, their howlings were like wild beasts. Truly, Satan is at loose amongst us. We are called to prayer. Every one of us. The whole of Salem is to gather at the meeting house. Where's Lois? She must come too. Come.
Lois? Lois?
Father Tapau says last night he heard a terrible sound, as though a heavy body was being dragged through the house by some strong power. And then it was thrown against his bedroom door. And when he started to pray, a shriek went up that made his hair stand on end.
Prudence? Prudence? If you run on ahead, we will lose you in the crowd.
This morning, he said all the crockery in the house was found smashed in a heap on the kitchen floor. And as soon as he began to ask a blessing on the meal, Abigail and Hester cried out, as if someone was pinching them. Oh, Lord, have mercy upon us all. Satan is of a truth let loose.
And it is clear that devils with most horrid operations have broken in upon us.
Oh, heaven protect us.
And so, let us beseech him that their power may be restrained.
Amen to that.
Oh, it is a terrible strength. I have witnessed it. 2 years ago in the city of Boston, the children of that religious and blessed man, Mr. Goodwin, were bewitched by an Irish witch. And there was no end to their torments.
Help us, Lord.
At one time, they would fly like geese and be carried with an incredible swiftness, having just their toes upon the ground. Yet at other times, by the hellish devices of the witch, they could not stir without limping, for by means of an invisible chain, she hampered their limbs. And the devils that possessed them caused them to whistle and sing and yell in a discordant and hellish fashion. And
whence comes that sound?
Satan is among you. Oh. Look to yourselves. Look at the maid.
Oh, she's fainted, but she's lying stiff as a board.
Bring her to the pulpit.
Stand back, my lord. Pastor Nolan says take her to the pulpit.
Room.
Oh, Prudence, so let me come to her. It's my daughter.
Tell me, child, if you can, the name of the witch who is subjecting you to this torture. Speak in the name of the Lord.
What did she say? She spoke a name. What was it?
What did you say?
Speak again, child. What name did you say? Oh, are you sure, child?
She named Lois Barclay. Where is she? Yet let her show herself.
Here she is.
Bring the accused witch near to this poor suffering child of Christ. Art thou Lois Barclay?
You know I am. Prudence, why are you doing this?
Take her away.
Have I ever said an unkind word to you?
English witch.
Prudence!
English witch.
Look, you don't know what you're saying, do you?
You threw me down only this morning and turned my arm black and blue.
But I was not near you, Prudence.
Don't look in her eyes. She can strike thee with a look. I've heard she could make the poor Hickson baby sleep or howl in turn.
He died suddenly, though it was never clear out.
Aunt! Will you not speak for me, Aunt?
It is for God to judge whether thou art a witch, Lois, not for me.
Manasseh!
It is divine will. I warned thee it would come to this.
Faith! Faith, will you not speak? Is there no one? Alas! Alas!
She's falling. Quick, catch her.
And bind her, lest she fly out from the room.
Orson's witch! None shall save thee when thou art brought up for a witch!
Cousin Lois may go out and meet Satan by the brookside.
He cares more for Lois's little finger than for my whole body. She has bewitched him. Curse her!
English witch. English witch.
And thou wert even as a corpse, 3 days old.
Ungodly. 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 Ungodly.
And you are charged with the sin of witchcraft, as witnessed by these your victims, Abigail Taphow, Hester Taphow, Prudence Hickson. Step forward, Lois Barclay. Do you confess to the charge of which you are accused?
I am no witch, sir. Prudence! Stop it! Make it stop! Don't do that! Stop it, Prudence. All of you, stop.
My shepherd is the living Lord. Nothing, therefore, I need. In pastures fair with waters calm.
The accused is to stand in the shape of a cross, with her hand stretched out, and thus her evil power will be made weak and disappear.
Wherever you be on God's earth, Lois, I will come for thee. 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 I will come for thee.
My shepherd is the living Lord. Nothing therefore I need. In pastures fair with waters calm, He sets me for to feed.
We are come to exhort you to confess your great and manifold sin.
Where am I?
You're in Salem jail, condemned for a witch.
She's been out on a devilish ride all night long, doubtless.
If you will confess, there may yet be balm in Gilead.
But I am not a witch. I am not a witch.
Look, she is weeping. They say no witch can weep tears.
In the Yet even her own family have borne witness against her.
Let us try one last test. Have Grace Hickson speak to her. She may yet succeed in bidding her to confess.
My heart misgives me. And yet it would be the devil's way to conceal his evil in such a fair and seeming innocent. Let Grace Hickson be summoned.
Lois Barclay, did I ever do you any harm?
Are you there, Aunt?
Answer me. Did I ever do you any harm?
No. No, you did not.
I did you no harm, though I never rightly knew why you came to us.
I was sent by my mother on her deathbed.
Did any of mine ever wrong you?
No. Well, not till Prudence said... Oh, Aunt. Do you think I am a witch?
Wiser than I, godlier than I have said it. But oh, Lois, he was my firstborn. Loose him from the demon, I beg you.
I know I am not. Yet I am to die. Aunt, no. Don't let them hang me.
Hush, for shame. This afternoon I have bound my firstborn with strong cords. He is so frenzied. Oh, look. I am a proud woman, God forgive me. And I never thought to kneel to any save the one God above. But now I kneel at your feet to beg you to release my children, but especially my son Manasseh from the spells you have put upon them. Lois, hearken to me, and I will pray to the Almighty for you.
I never did any wrong. How can I undo it? How can I?
Oh, then curse you for a witch, Lois Barclay. And may you burn in hell for the evil you have brought upon my family. And I summon you to meet me before the judgment seat and answer for what you have done to those who took you in and gave you shelter when you came as an orphan and were homeless.
Aunt, I will meet you there, at the very feet of the Almighty God. And may he have mercy on you.
Witch! Ask mercy for thyself. I spit at thee.
Lois Barclay is convicted of the sin of witchcraft and condemned to death. May the Lord have mercy on her soul.
Mercy.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Mother. Mother.
A month later, Captain Holderness and Hugh Wickham landed in Boston and came to find Lois, to take her back home to Barford. They were led to the grave where she lay at rest. Hugh Wickham shook the dust off his feet in quitting Salem, returned home, and lived a bachelor all his long life after. This story came to me via a dear man who lives in Germany, and whom I met quite by chance. It was in the spring of 1842, while on a visit to friends near Heidelberg. We'd stopped for refreshment at a quaint old mill, when a sudden downpour forced us to take shelter in the kitchen of the mill house. The old miller ushered us all in, and there was such a press of people, I was gradually forced to retreat to the back of the room, where my eye was caught by a picture hanging in the very darkest corner. The picture was of a young girl of quite breathtaking beauty. When the opportunity arose, I inquired of the miller who the girl was, and he told me her name was Anna Shearer, an ancestor of his, who, because of what happened to her, lost the lovely complexion apparent in the picture to such an extent she became known as the Grey Woman. She had apparently lived in some state of lifelong terror. This was so intriguing that I asked to know more, and the kindly man unearthed a manuscript written by the Grey Woman herself. It is, I think you will agree, an amazing story, and one which I feel is best left to Anna Shearer herself to tell, in the words she wrote to her daughter over 100 years ago.
My name is Anna Shearer, as you well know, my darling. But on this, the eve of your wedding, I must tell you that Shearer is not your name, as you have long believed. To begin at the beginning. My early childhood was extremely happy, spent beside the mill stream in Heidelberg with my beloved father. But that time ended, quite unexpectedly, when I went to stay with an old school friend and her mother in Paris. These friends moved in the highest circles, and it was at one of the many soirees we attended that I first met Monsieur de la Tourelle, who was your father. He was very charming, paid me compliments, sent me expensive gifts. And before I was fully aware of the implications in accepting them, I was betrothed. Everyone expected me to be extremely happy. It seemed he was a wealthy nobleman and I had made a great conquest. But the reality was, I was in a kind of despair. I did not wish to be married, and I didn't know how to extract myself. So, we were married, and I left Heidelberg and my dear old father for a new life. The journey to my husband's chateau, Les Rochers, took over a week, for the roads were very bad.
Why do you weep, Anna?
Because it is so far, and I miss my father. So it was in no cheerful frame of mind that we approached Les Rochers. And I thought that perhaps it was because I was so unhappy that the place looked so dreary. New rooms had been added to the side, and the rubbish from the work had not yet been cleared away. It was only later I realized it was a kind of prison. I was restricted to the new annex on the orders of my husband, and his servants saw that his instructions were followed to the letter. But I prevailed in one thing, and that was my request for a companion.
I've written to my milliner in Paris to look out for a suitable woman to be your maid. And she has written back to say she has found a Norman woman by the name of Armand, who should do. She'll be arriving in a few days, so now, perhaps, you'll be a little more cheerful.
And indeed I was. Armand feared no one. And with all her shrewdness to others, she had quite tender ways with me. All the more so at this time because she knew what I had not yet ventured to tell Monsieur de la Tourelle, that by and by I might become a mother.
What news, madame? And I will be able to teach your child all the tunes that I keep in my head from my childhood.
I remember it was one evening, during one of my husband's many absences, that I began to talk about my father and the mill. And I remember telling her how I so seldom heard from him and how I missed him so much. Presently Armand went to fetch our supper, and on her return entered with a broad smile upon her face.
I have a little news that will please madame.
Oh, what? What is it, Armand?
There was a bundle of letters newly arrived on the table in the kitchen, and I untied the string binding them and just caught sight of one from Germany.
Oh, give it to me quickly.
No, I can't. I haven't got it. One of the servants, Jacques it was, came in just as I'd untied them and swore at me for having disarranged them.
But didn't you say there was one there for me?
I did. But he only swore the more, saying it was no business of mine, and that he had the strictest orders always to take all the letters that arrived during his master's absence into his private study.
Oh, but couldn't you have got just that one letter from him?
Madame, it was more than my life was worth. Didn't you hear how Jacques stabbed the stable boy last month for some joke he happened to make? They're a fierce bunch, these servants.
Oh, but Armand, suppose my father is ill. Or dying. He might be writing to say, come immediately.
I may well have been mistaken, Madame. I don't read writing well. Suppose there is no letter from Germany after all.
And though she tried many different arguments...
It could be from anyone. I expect Monsieur has contacts in Germany himself. It could be for him.
I would not be comforted, but wrung my hands with impatience and refused to eat the food that now had no appeal for me.
Oh, you are as stubborn as your husband. All right. Listen, if you promise to eat something, I will see if we can't go to the Monsieur's room after the servants have gone to bed and look for the letter. What about that?
Oh, yes. And so it was agreed. Long after I thought the house was quiet, Armand, in her caution, made me wait. And it was past 11 before we set out with cat-like steps along the gallery that joined my new rooms with the old chateau to steal my own letter.
It's locked. The key's there, look. Quick, turn it quickly.
As Armand opened the door, I pushed past her in my eagerness and saw the letters lying on the table, their white oblongs catching the light in an instant. In that moment, I also took in the room. It was in the older part of the castle, and hence the walls were 8 or 9 feet thick. I remember thinking that no one would be able to hear a sound when outside, and how secret it must be. The candle which Armand held had caught in some draught and had gone out, and we were plunged into total darkness.
Let's just collect all the letters as best we can and take them back to your room. And then I'll bring the rest back when you've found yours.
No, we might knock something over. You go back and relight the candle. You know where the flint box is in my room?
Yes.
I'll stay here. Go on.
All right.
No, wait. What? Lock the door after me, in case anyone should pass and check it. And be quick.
Yes.
I remained alone. I stood with my face towards the window, which appeared only like an oblong of paler black in the shadowy room. I often relive that moment in my dreams, waiting in that room of horror, in the darkness. Armand could hardly have been gone a moment before I heard the sounds of the window being quietly opened. In mortal terror, I did the first thing that came into my head. I sank down softly and crept under the table, which was covered by a large cloth with a heavy fringe.
Lift it up over the sill.
My God, it's a weight, this one.
Higher. Now, through. I've got it. Gently.
That's it.
Phew. That was a near one.
Too close for my liking. That's for all the trouble you caused us.
And that's one from me.
All right. Save your strength.
I don't know why or where I got the courage to do it, but while I crouched there beneath the table, something made me reach out my hand, just a little, to feel what it was that lay spurned. And I touched the ice-cold hand of a corpse.
Did you like my little joke, Lefebvre?
What, to that fool we met on the road just now?
Yes.
Thank God you strapped the seigneur here in front of you on the horse.
Your companion looks most unwell. Do you need assistance?
Don't concern yourself. He is merely drunk.
Drunk? He looks
dead to the world. Quite right. That'll teach him. Good night to you, my man.
No, not bad. No, not bad. Though you didn't quite capture my noble style.
My brain swam, so that I could barely understand the meaning of what they said. But I recognized the voice and scornful laughter of my husband, who stood so close that I could have touched his feet.
Shh! What is it? Quiet!
Armand!
Forgive me, sir. I didn't see you there in the dark.
May I ask what brings you here into my private room?
I came to look for a letter which I believe has arrived from Madame from Germany.
Damn you! I'll have no one prying into my rooms, least of all you. Your last office will be to tell Madame she'll have her letters, if there are any, when I choose to give them to her. Now, give me that candle. Get out!
If I had any thought of escape, it was gone now. I only hoped that whatever was to befall me might soon be over, for the tension of my nerves was growing more than I could bear.
Why didn't you grab her while you had the chance? You could have tied her up, gagged her.
Why didn't you kill her and have done? She might have seen him. May he rest in hell.
She couldn't have. It was pitch black. Besides, I was standing right in front of her.
Well, what's she going to say to your wife, finding you in here in the dark?
I'll think of something. Look, she got such a fright, 10 to 1. She'll be thankful to have got off so lightly and won't even wonder about it.
Yeah, but perhaps your wife will. She's a quiet bitch. Too reserved for my liking. You never know what she's thinking.
Why you had to go and get married in the first place. Dressing yourself up in all that finery and scenting yourself with perfume like a dandy.
I could have got you 20 girls prettier than her, and with far more spirit in them.
Shut it. She suits me, and that's an end to it.
But supposing she knows?
Do you imagine if I thought that, she would live another minute? Remember Victorine?
But this one's different. We knew Victorine. You could read her, but this one...
By God, feel this dagger, Henri. Let her have one tiny suspicion that I'm not who she thinks I am, and this good steel will find its way to her very heart.
You have often asked me the reason for that mark on my hand, my daughter. It was because at that moment, hearing what I did, I bit out a piece of my own flesh to save myself from screaming out loud.
Someday, she'll get wind of us, and then she'll be off, I just know it. And that'll be the end of it all, the end of the chauffeurs.
Ah, she goes, then I'll follow. So don't cry before you're hurt. Now, let's get to work.
Whoa, look at this ring! Have you ever seen a diamond that big?
Here's his watch. Solid gold.
Lots of papers in his pockets. Hello, what's this? My darling husband.
Oh, a love letter from his beloved wife.
I've missed you so badly since you've been away. And our sweet baby has begun to say even more words. Oh. Where's Dada? He said only yesterday. And I told him, Maurice, your Dada will be with us soon. Just one more day, and then he will be home.
Oh, no, he won't.
You know what this means.
What?
He's expected back today, and so when he's not, they'll be looking. We must get rid of the body quickly tonight.
Tonight? But we've had nothing to eat, and I haven't slept since...
Tonight! Leave him here. We'll go and eat now, this minute, and then come back and start digging. Near the wall behind the kitchen will be best. Now, come on!
Now was my time, if ever. And yet I couldn't move. It was the sensation of that dead man's close presence. I almost fancy still. I heard the arm nearest to me move. lift itself up, as if once more imploring. The sound of my own strange voice broke the spell. I drew myself to the side of the table farthest from the corpse, and softly raised myself up, and stood sick and trembling, holding onto the table, too dizzy to know what to do next.
Madame! Come on! Oh. Quickly, they've gone downstairs. Oh, come.
I fell upon her neck, grasping her tight till my hands ached with the tension of their hold. Yet she never uttered a word. Only she took me up in her vigorous arms and bore me to my room and laid me on my bed. I know no more, for as soon as I was placed there, I lost consciousness. When I came back to myself...
Drink this, madame, and let's be gone. All is ready. There. I've put out some of my old clothes. See? You must put them on. I've wrapped up the remains of our supper. We can take that with us. Come on. You must get up.
I never asked her, then or afterwards, how much she knew. But I suppose she must have been in the dressing room adjoining the study and heard all.
Shh. Listen.
She went to the door and listened, and then to the window and looked anxiously out.
It's clear. Come on, quickly.
Clinging to her, I went unquestioning. We went down many stairs, and she guided me along the basement passages, until we came to a little open door through which the air blew chill and cold. The door led into a kind of cellar. We groped our way across to a small window that, instead of being glazed, was only fenced with iron bars, two of which were loose, as Amant evidently knew. And then we were out in the open air. Free.
Come now. Wait.
Deeper than that.
And wider. Remember his girth.
Down here. Follow me.
She turned down towards the high road. I didn't know the path. We stumbled again and again, and I was much bruised, so doubtless was she, but bodily pain did me good. At last we were on the plainer path of the high road.
Which way did you come when he brought you here first?
That way.
Then we'll go in the opposite direction. Come on.
We struck up the mountainside, scrambling far up before we even dared to stop and rest.
I locked the door between your bedroom and the gallery, and I brought the key away with us. Look, but I think now is the time to lose it.
My husband will follow.
But not yet. He'll have been too busy this night to think much about you. He'll suppose you're still asleep. I'll be the first to be missed by the other servants. But they'll only now be discovering our loss.
Oh, let's go on. Don't let's wait here.
You must rest, madame.
No, come on.
We must find some hiding place.
But not here. Come on.
And Amant was forced to follow me. We proceeded down the mountain as dawn began to break, and we saw we were in a narrow valley, with a swift-moving stream at the bottom. A mill wheel was lashing up the water close at hand, though out of sight. Keeping under cover of every sheltering bush, we worked our way down past the mill, down to a one-arched bridge.
This will do.
We crept under the space beneath the bridge and crouched in the deep, damp shadow. Amant sat a little above me and made me lay my head on her lap. Then she fed me and took some food herself. And opening out her great dark cloak, she covered up every light-coloured speck about us. And thus we sat, shivering. Towards dusk, the rain that had fallen all day long got heavier, and the stream began to swell into a torrent, rushing over the stones with a perpetual and dizzying noise. Then darkness fell, and the time to move was upon us.
Oh, we must pass this night in shelter somehow.
I thought that surely the end must be death in some shape, and I only hoped that to death might not be added the terror of the cruelty of men.
We'll try the mill. Come on.
Who is it?
We're just two women seeking shelter.
There's no man with you.
No, we're on our own.
There. My master, the miller, told me on no account to let any man into the place while he was away, but since you're only two women, you can't say I've disobeyed him.
Oh, we're most grateful to you.
Oh, it's a shame to let a dog be out on such a night as this. Now, come on, near the stove, and you take a few wet things.
When do you expect your master back?
Oh, no, I don't know. He's gone out helping to look for the landlord. Not the Seigneur de Poissy's gone missing, and they think he might have met with some accident. Oh dear. Is she not well?
She's just very tired. Oh, if we could be allowed to rest here.
But if my master should return and find you here...
Is there nowhere we could stay that would be out of the way? And if you don't tell anyone else we're here, your master need never know.
Oh. And wait a moment. I've an idea. Come. Come.
She bade us mount by a ladder to a kind of loft. It had no wall or railing to keep us from falling over the edge and into the kitchen. But there was bedding piled up, and the winter store of apples and nuts and bundles of old clothes. In short, a comfortable enough place for two travellers who had spent the day beneath a damp and cold bridge. No sooner were we up there than the old woman dragged the ladder away.
Now you can do no mischief, and you be warm enough up there. Good night.
Indeed, it was lovely and warm, and we thankfully laid ourselves down in our dried clothes on a pile of bedding and tried to sleep. But sleep did not come, and I was aware, from her breathing, that Amant was equally awake.
Come on, where are you, you old fool?
She's died in the night.
Oh, you're back, master. I was just...
You were asleep, you lying bitch, so don't try to get out of it.
No, I was waiting up for you, master. I may have dozed off.
Get out of my sight. Go on. And you want another one.
Is there anything to eat here at all?
Yeah, there'll be something in the pot, Monsieur Lefebvre, over the fire.
It's Lefebvre.
I feel like I've been on a wild goose chase all day. How can a man disappear into thin air? And a man like the Seigneur, too. It's not as though they don't know what he looks like round here.
As you say, into thin air. Quite amazing.
It was lucky I met up with you. I was going to look more in the direction of Les Rochers. The castle belonging to your master, I believe, Monsieur de la Tourelle.
Correct. But the Seigneur would not have been going that way. I know for a fact that the Seigneur went hunting yesterday in quite the opposite direction.
It was a shame we had no luck. Did Monsieur de la Tourelle know the Seigneur at all?
Oh, yes, they were great friends. Monsieur de la Tourelle was himself out all day looking for the Seigneur. So, it's just you and your housekeeper that live here, is it?
Yes, just the two of us.
It's an out-of-the-way place, for sure. Do you get many callers?
No, not many. And I've told old Sarah not to let anyone in while I'm away.
Very wise. Well, I must take my leave and return. Thank you for the food, and rest well.
The same to you, Lefebvre.
And the unsuspicious miller, having bolted the door, stumbled off to his bed. The next morning, when the old woman did not rise as usual to prepare his breakfast and light the stove, the miller went to look for her and found her in bed, lifeless. Whether from the effects of her master's blows the night before, or natural causes, who could say? But it gave us the opportunity of staying in our hiding place for another day or two, with no one knowing we were there, until the first hue and cry of the search had died down. And so we did. And Amante, hunting among the bundles of old clothes, found a man's suit that fitted her. She then cut her hair short, and on the second day she dyed my fair hair with the decaying shells of the stored-up walnuts. That night, when the miller was sound asleep in his bed, we let ourselves down by means of a rope we had found, and we left, leaving no outward sign that we had ever been there.
This place will do. It's lonely enough. Wait here, madame.
We had been wandering for near on 3 weeks, sleeping beneath bushes during the day, and proceeding every night a little nearer towards Germany. Our plan was to reach Heidelberg, my father's house, and safety.
Have you any odd jobs of work for a travelling tailor and his wife, monsieur, in return for a night's lodging and food?
See what I can find you.
Amante had adopted this plan once or twice before, and with good success. For her father had been a tailor in Rouen, and as a girl she had often helped him with his work. The early November afternoon was closing into evening as we sat down in the blacksmith's house, Amante cross-legged on the kitchen table near the window, whistling softly all the while, as was the custom of the trade when at work. And I sat close behind her, in her shadow, sewing at another part of the same garment.
Good evening to you, monsieur.
Good evening to you, sir.
Suddenly Amante turned and said one word.
Courage.
What?
It's him.
Here, good wife. A cup of wine and something to eat for this gentleman.
Of course, of course. What can I get you, monsieur?
Anything, madame, that I can eat in my hand while my horse is being shod. I'm in haste and must get on to Forbach tonight.
There you are, monsieur.
Ah, many thanks.
I felt sick for an instant, and then braced myself to go through I knew not what. Thankfully, we sat in a shadowy corner, and my husband gave only a cursory glance around the room, taking us in with about the same degree of interest as he did the inanimate furniture.
Very good, very good. But I'm in haste, dear woman. Go tell your husband I will pay him double if he finishes soon.
Oh, very good, monsieur.
I know that tune from somewhere.
Your horse will be ready in one moment, monsieur. Only one moment. There was a nail out of the right hoof as well, which my husband is replacing. It would delay monsieur again if that shoe also came off.
Madame is right, but if Madame knew my reasons, she would pardon my impatience. I am pursuing a wife on whom I lavished all my love, but who has abused my confidence and fled from my house, doubtless to some paramour, carrying off with her all the jewels and money on which she could lay her hands. It is possible Madame may have heard or seen something of her. And she was accompanied in her flight by a base, profligate woman from Paris, who I, unhappy man, had myself engaged as my wife's waiting maid, little dreaming what corruption I was bringing into my house.
Is it possible? No, monsieur. I have seen no one that fits that description.
No. Oh, still, I'm on their track. They'll not escape me. But every minute is a minute of misery to me till I meet my wife. Madame has sympathy, has she not?
Oh, indeed I have, monsieur.
I must see how your husband is faring. Excuse me.
Don't move a muscle. Just go on as you are. In a few minutes he'll be gone and it will be over.
It was a necessary caution, for I was on the point of giving way and throwing myself weakly upon her neck. We carried on sewing in the same positions, and it was well we did so, for almost directly he came back for his whip, which he had laid down and forgotten.
Ah, here it is.
And again I felt one of those sharp, quick, scanning glances sent all around the room and taking in everything.
Your horse is ready, monsieur.
Ah, excellent. So, good day to you, madame.
Good day, and good luck, monsieur. Well, did you ever hear the like? I hope he catches up with her and gives her the punishment she deserves. Oh, the world. They say there's that band of robbers going round in the area. Have you heard of them? The chauffeurs. That said they torture their victims by roasting their feet to make them tell where they've hidden their gold. And they kill anyone who sees them, so that no one knows who belongs to the band. And their leader is supposed to be the most wicked of all.
Oh, madame, if you will forgive us, we've had a very long day and would like to seek our bed. We'll get up early and finish this work tomorrow.
Which we did, and then made an early start, heading away in any direction but towards Forbach. The next night, we came to a small town with a good large inn in the very centre of the main street. We had begun to feel as if there were more safety in towns than in the loneliness of the country. We had parted with a ring of mine to a travelling jeweller, and so we had a little money and resolved to stay at this inn and gather such information as we could. While we were eating our supper in the darkest corner of the dining room, a coach arrived outside and disgorged its passengers, one of whom was a fair-haired young lady and her French maid.
Look, her hair is exactly the same colour as yours. It used to be.
Yes. But make haste, the room is filling up. Let's be off to our room. We had paid for a small bedroom over the stable, and we made our hurried way there now to avoid any possibility of recognition. We were tired and quickly fell asleep, but I was awakened soon after by a sound in the stable below.
And rub her down well. I've had a long ride and she's very hot.
Armand, wake up.
What?
Shh. He's there, down below.
I'll be back later to check her. So see you do as I've said.
Oh, he's discovered us. He knows where we are. We must go. But let's think. If we leave now, how far will we get on foot?
We might be able to get away without anyone noticing.
But think. We haven't paid the bill yet. That will draw attention to us. And we can't be sure that he knows we're here. It might just be a coincidence.
Then what should we do?
I say we stay here for the night. Stay quiet. And we'll judge the best time to leave tomorrow.
And so we lay down, shivering with fear, listening to every sound, as if we might meet our death at any moment. In the dead of the night, just at the profound stillness preceding the turn into another day, we heard something below in the yard.
Quietly now. There's a good girl.
That was him. He's gone.
We lay, exhausted but relieved. And this time we fell sound asleep and slept late into the morning, until we were awakened by a loud commotion below.
What are we going to do, monsieur?
I don't know. As I say, this lady came last night by the coach with her maid. Doubtless a great lady, for she must have a private sitting room.
She was Madame the Baroness de Roder.
And was difficult to please in the matter of supper and the sleeping room. She went to bed early, and her maid left her.
I begged to be allowed to sleep in her room, as we were in a strange inn, of the character of which we knew nothing. But she wouldn't let me. My mistress was such a great lady.
And this morning we thought Madame was still slumbering. But when 9, 10, and near 11 o'clock came, I bade her maid use my passkey and enter her room.
The door was not locked, only closed. And here she was found. Dead, is she not, monsieur? With her face down on her pillow, and her beautiful hair all scattered wild. She never would let me tie it up, saying it made her head ache. Such hair!
And then she called me, and I discovered the lady all bathed and stained with blood, and a dagger through her heart with this paper attached. Look, it says, "Number 1, thus the chauffeurs take revenge." Who are the chauffeurs? Does anyone know?
But no one answered, and a deathly hush spread over the crowd. None knew whether some of the band might even then be listening, and noting down fresh objects for vengeance. For the first time I realized the full extent of the terror they inspired. Neither Amant nor I, knowing far more of the actual guilt of the man who had killed the Baroness, dared breathe a word. We were broken down with the terrible knowledge that we, above all, were doomed victims, and that that knife had drained the blood from that poor woman because she had been mistaken for me. We left and continued on our course, making our way towards Frankfurt. We still held to our plan of going to my father's house in Heidelberg, far away from the terrible land of France. But it happened that we met by chance a young journeyman from Heidelberg itself, whom I vaguely knew, but who failed to recognize me. I asked him, as casually as I could manage, how the old miller was, and another blow came to my heart as he told me the old miller was dead. He went on that a grand French gentleman had appeared at the mill recently looking for his wife, the old miller's daughter, who had apparently behaved abominably. When the journeyman had departed on his way, Amant took me gently in her arms.
We must change our plans. But we still have each other, and that is a great comfort, is it not?
Oh, yes.
We will go on to Frankfurt and lose ourselves for a time, at least, in that great town. We will still be husband and wife. We will take a small lodging, and you shall housekeep and live indoors. And I will continue my father's trade and seek work at the tailors' shops.
And we did. We found 2 furnished rooms in a back street in Frankfurt. There was no light in the main room. A dingy lamp swung perpetually from the ceiling. The bedroom was more cheerful, but very small. At length my child was born. It was a girl, as I had prayed for. I was able to sun myself and my baby at the garret window in the roof. It was all the air I dared to take. And one day, Amant returned from seeking work with some good news.
I met a journeyman who works for a wealthy family on the other side of Frankfurt, and he said his master was looking for a tailor to make some clothes for his new son, and I have been appointed to the work.
Oh, Amant!
And the pay is very good.
That is such good news.
Isn't it, sweeting?
But I have another thing to tell you that is not so good.
Go on. Oh, I'm strong enough now.
Placards have been put up all over the town, offering a heavy reward on the part of the Baron de Roeder for information about the murder of his wife. And it gives the name of the inn and the date on which she was murdered. You see the danger? If any member of the chauffeurs should see it, they will realize that it was not you they killed and will come looking again. Oh. And while I was reading this placard, I turned and saw someone staring at me.
Oh, who was it?
It was the man we sold your ring to. You remember? He must have realized we were not poor travelling tailors having that ring. I think he followed me for some of the way afterwards. Though I managed to lose him eventually.
And she spoke, my poor, my dear, very faithful Amante, like one possessed that night, talking continually of the future. And she kissed you. Yes, you, my daughter. She kissed you, my sweet baby, my blessed little comforter, as if she could never leave off. And she left the next morning as usual. And in the evening they found her. She had been stabbed and was dead.
At this point, the manuscript becomes very difficult to read. But from what I can make out, the knife that killed Amante again bore the fateful message from the chauffeurs. But this time the number was underlined, number 1, to show that the assassin was aware of his mistake before.
I was number 2, and I knew it was only a matter of time before they found me, as they had found Amante.
The writer, in reliving her history so closely, obviously became hysterical, and the sense of what she writes is sometimes beyond deciphering.
The angels had sent you, my sweet little saviour. But the pounding of my heart, oh, the pain!
It was clear that without her child, she would not have lasted long. It seems that someone, probably the landlord of the rooms, became alarmed and called a doctor, and he tended her and brought her back to some kind of health.
He was a good man. He helped me, but they were looking for me. Every sound I heard, I thought it was them. The chauffeurs, they have discovered me at last. They are coming! Ah!
But in fact they did not find her, though she could never be convinced of this, even when some time later the good doctor brought news that the leader of the chauffeurs and 2 or 3 others, including Lefebvre, had been hunted down by the Baron de Roda and executed for their crimes. But it brought no relief. She'd lived in terror for too long. And whenever she tried to go out into the daylight and lead a more normal life, her body would start trembling, and a long, pitiful scream would issue uncontrolled from her. So that it was a kindness to leave her, finally, in the shadows, inside her rooms, where her once yellow hair turned grey, and her complexion ashen-coloured. The good doctor eventually persuaded her to take his name and become his wife. So she became Anna Scherer, but was forever after known as the Grey Woman.